Hello there, hello there, hello there, hello there. Welcome back to the Agostinho Zinga Show with your host, Agostinho Zinga, and this is episode number 1024. That's episode number 1024 of the Agostinho Zinga Show, coming live and direct from an undisclosed location somewhere in the depths of East London. How you doing? How you feel, ladies and gentlemen? How you doing? How you feeling, ladies and gentlemen? Great, amazing, good to hear. Great, amazing, good to hear. How am I? Great. How am I? Great. G-R-E, great. I am great. I'm doing great. I hope you're doing great. Everyone's doing great. We're out here doing great. You feel me? Yeah. Blessed. Although, you know, I've come to the realization that Arsenal are going to win the league. That's a bit depressing. I've also come to the realization that Arsenal might win the Champions League. That's a bit depressing. Right? They might do a little double. But apart from that, everything else is irie. The stuff going on with Senegal and Morocco for the African Cup of Nations is absolute nonsense. They've stripped them of the cup because of all the madness that happened in that particular final, which is absolutely unprecedented, really. I can't remember the last time it's ever happened in history where the winner was stripped of the title because of something happened on the pitch, like, you know, months after. I can't remember the last time this happened. So very unprecedented, but obviously expected. But the streets will remember. That Senegal were the champions. No matter what the history books say, the streets will always remember that Senegal were the champions of Africa. So big up Senegal. And yeah, man, we're out here, innit? We're out here doing what needs to be done. I did watch a pretty decent little movie the other day. It's called The Gorge. You know why I found out about it? I don't know why. Well, I know why. My algorithm now on Twitter is pretty mad, right? I think because of my liking and stuff, because I'm a big fan of liking stuff, like double tapping stuff, so my algorithm knows what to feed me, because I don't want to just be fed stuff that I'm not interested in. So I'm always aggressively liking things. So lately I've been scrolling sometimes, because you know on Instagram they have that infinite feed thing on Instagram, right? Like TikTok. So if you open a video on Twitter, sorry, it's got the infinite fucking feed thing where if you're watching a video on Twitter on like full screen, and it finishes, it'll recommend you another video. So just keep on going until your battery basically dies. There'll just be an infinite loop of fucking videos. So because of that, now every time I do that on my phone, I open up a video, the next couple of videos that come after is mostly, you know, those accounts on YouTube that have like movies and like they have like a voiceover. It's like a summary of a movie. Have you heard of that sort of stuff? It's pretty weird. I'm not too sure if this is like an autism thing, or if it's just like a lack of patience or lack of attention, lack of attention and stuff when it comes to watching movies. But I quite like them. I'm not gonna lie. I quite like these summaries, these like movie summaries. The man was hunting in the woods, and as he's hunting in the woods, something hit his shoulder, and it was a sniper. You know, it's like a summary of a movie. And then what happens is that most of the time, I'll just watch the whole thing and that's a movie. Or if I'm really interested, like with The Gorge, I'll stop it and then watch the actual full movie, you know, which I did earlier today. And it was actually kind of decent. I'm not going to lie. It's actually kind of decent. The premise around it is kind of stupid. I'm not going to lie. The premise around it is kind of fucking stupid. It's about, essentially there's like a gorge. There's like a, you know, I guess a lake or something. Is that gorge? I don't know. Whatever you call that section between, it's like a gap between two mountains, right? And down there somewhere, they were testing these chemicals on soldiers. And unfortunately, the chemicals that they tested on soldiers to make them stronger turned them into these weird, like, I don't know, these weird, like, animal things, right? These weird kind of like, almost like the animals that you get in fucking, almost like a vampire type of, I don't know how you try, but they're mixed with trees and all the vegetation and shit. Doesn't really matter. Long story less long. The story centers around this shadowy organization hiring two assassins to sit on posts, on towers that sit either side of this like gorge. And they have to basically secure it and make sure nothing down below that they can't see, because it's kind of covered in fog. They can't see what's down below. They have to make sure nothing that comes down below can come up. And obviously, during the duration of this movie, the two people on this either side of these towers, man and a woman, they end up falling in love. they end up falling in love and they end up kind of helping each other, which they're not meant to do. You're not meant to talk to the person on the other side, but they end up falling in love and they end up kind of going down there and kind of ridding the whole place of all these, you know, weird creatures. But I found it initially because of those weird Twitter accounts or YouTube accounts that summarize movies. They give you like the voiceover thing. So I don't know if that's becoming like a thing. I don't know if I'm the only person, but I'm starting to watch a lot of those things that they give you a quick summary of a movie. Okay, cool. This is what happened. That's what happened. And don't get me wrong. Some of the AI voiceovers are pretty off script. Like you're listening to the voiceover. What you're seeing is completely different to what they're saying. So it's not always correct. And sometimes, you know, whatever, it's not giving you the full sense of the movie, but it still gives you a general idea of what the movie's about. And to be honest as well, a lot of these accounts, the movies that they recommend are pretty shit. I'm not gonna lie. They're like Netflix movies. They're not like proper good movies, you know? So you're not really missing out on anything if you don't actually go watch it in the cinema itself. But decent movie enough. I'm not gonna lie. If you're into like, I don't know, thriller type of spy movie things, I recommend you check it out. It's not too bad. I think it's like an hour and 20. It wasn't too long either. So if you need something to watch and you're struggling to find something to watch, check out The Gorge. Part romantic story, part thriller, part espionage, like assassin shit. So it kind of works for me. It kind of works. And to be fair as well, big up this woman. What's her name? Anya Taylor-Joy, right? Yo, she's got good range, decent accent. I know she's Spanish, right? She's meant to be like she's meant to be from Argentina or something, right? Or something like that, right? Yeah. She's American, born in Miami, but raised in Buenos Aires. Yo, she has a decent Eastern European accent. The character she plays in this series is Lithuanian, and it's pretty bang on. Not gonna lie, the accent is pretty bang on for somebody that's like American. I was surprised at Jesus, but of course I know she's an actor. I get it, she's an actor. It makes sense, but her accent was pretty fucking spot on. And this guy, Miles Kane, don't tell me he's fucking English. Okay, cool. He's not English. He's from America. But yeah, and the main actor is called Miles Teller. So it's Miles Teller and Anya Taylor-Joy, both in this series. A pretty decent series if you care about that sort of stuff. Again, you have to care about that sort of stuff. If you don't, I get it. If you don't, I get it. If you don't, I get it. Talking about not caring about certain things. Yo, this TV series, man. What's it called? Temptation Island, right? Is it Temptation Island? Yeah, this TV series, Temptation Island. Like, wagwan for this. Most of you guys know about this TV series. It went viral like a couple of years ago because of that guy, Montoya, right? This guy watches his girlfriend or someone he's interested in getting off with somebody else on the island, on the other side of the island, and they start having sex, like literally having sex under the covers, and then he starts to like get really upset. And then he runs from one side of the island to the other. And I think they're pretty far away, but he literally runs full pace without stopping from one island to the other, full of rage, and end up fighting all this malarkey, right? Well, they found there's another season, and it's the same script. It's another guy seeing his girlfriend hooking up with somebody else. Now, I don't get the whole premise of this TV show. It sounds like fucking hell, right? A reality TV show where you go as a couple, but then I guess you go as a couple if you're not sure you're going to be together, and you see if you're going to get tempted by another couple or somebody single that might be on the island that you might see a future with. But it's also very, very explicit. That's the thing that's really odd about it. I don't know if it's because it's Spanish. I don't know if it's a Spanish TV series or if it's a TV series based in somewhere else in like Latin America, but it's very explicit. So it's not only do you go in this reality TV show and you have to kind of test your relationship, right? It's also like encouraged to get it on. Like everybody on this series fucks. Like everyone fucks. So in this new clip, right? I'm not going to play it because I'm sure I'm going to get copyright strikes. But in this new clip, this guy is watching on the iPad, his girlfriend, I guess, in the pink bikini, sat on the lap of this guy in the pool, right? And it looks like she starts bouncing up and down from what I'm seeing, right? I don't know much about, you know, I'm not the greatest expert when it comes to the adult intercourse, right? I've not got the greatest level of experience, but I can pretty much surmise that in this particular clip, this woman is bouncing up and down this guy's taint. And the really funny thing about this clip that made me laugh so much when I saw it, the guy, I don't know if the guy's in disbelief, but he's really looking at it. Like, so he sat there, there's a scene in the series where he sat there watching his girl hook up with another guy on the iPad in the pool, and he starts to like go closer and closer to the iPad and really concentrate and to focus and see what's going on. And it's like, brother, you don't need to look any closer. What you think is going on is going on. You don't need to get any closer to the screen. What you think is going on is going on. Your missus is on some other guy's lap, straddling him, right? Straddling him, 2 legs on each leg on either side. And she looks like at one point she starts to gyrate. Yeah, at one point she starts to gyrate, which is making me think that maybe they were getting it on. But it's just funny that he has to really, 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 really get close to the screen before he crashes out. And then of course he copies the Montoya script and he runs to the other side. But when he gets there, he doesn't really do much. And also the girl, when he gets there, starts like arguing back at him. I don't understand Spanish, don't get me wrong, but I was like, hold on, why is the girl arguing at him? Like, aren't you the one that should be like embarrassed because you're like jumping on another guy? But I guess not, right? So yeah, the really bad thing is they zoom in on the guy's hand, right? They zoom in on the guy's hand touching her bum under the water. It's fucking crazy. Honestly, the cameramen, the camera women, the producers on these TV shows, they deserve an award. There needs to be an award. There needs to be recognition for producers of reality TV shows and their ability to like switch cameras, zoom in at the perfect time. Whoever does that job needs to be rewarded because this is incredible camera work. Incredible camera work to zoom in on the guy's hand under the water and see what that hand is doing underwater, right? So the guy's getting closer. He's really angry. Then he finally realizes what he's seeing is what he's seeing, and then he runs off. Right? Then he saw Gilbert, that's his name, Gilbert, not Montoya, Gilbert. So Gilbert runs down the beach all the way to the other side of the villa to go confront his girl, or I guess his ex now. And when he gets there, she starts to shout at him too, which I don't get. Why is she shouting at him? Why is she arguing at him? It's a bizarre story. All of it is fucking bizarre.
Claudia. Primera hoguera.
Carried back in there.
No te quiero volver a ver la cara. La última vez que...
Honestly, what a weird TV show. I don't get it. I don't get the point of this. So if you survive, so you have to go there on a humiliation ritual. If your relationship survives, you get to have that memory burned in your head of your girl like straddling some girl's crotch and bouncing up and down his taint in the fucking pool. If your relationship survives, oh my God, you know? If it doesn't survive, you still have that memory in your head. You have to walk away from this series knowing full well there's some Spanish Lafario, right? With like tanned skin, with tanned olive skin. You know what I mean? Absolutely pile driving your missus. This show is brutal, absolutely brutal. But as a non-fan of reality TV shows, and a non-watcher of reality TV shows, I'd watch something like this. You know? I'd watch something like this because I don't really watch reality TV shows, but if I was to watch one, I want it to be very trashy, or I want it to be in an area of industry or whatever that I'm not aware of. Like if imagine if there's a reality TV show about like foster care or like a children's home or something like that, right? Or like a vet, right? Like a veterinary hospital or something. I'd watch that. Like for instance, which is why in the beginning I used to really like Below Deck. I don't watch it anymore. But I remember the first couple of seasons of Below Deck, I fucking loved it because it was like a insight into a whole different lifestyle and industry that I had no idea even it fucking existed, right? So that's pretty cool. And obviously seeing stuff like this as well, like being super trashy, where it doesn't really make any sense, like why you'd go in it as a contestant. It's just messy and trashy for the viewer. Fair enough. But the TV series, the reality TV shows where they try and give you a lesson, they try and give you like life advice, like get fucked, man. I don't want any life advice. Give me trash. If you're going to give me reality TV, give me trash. Talking about good stuff, let's talk about this article courtesy of Complex. Black music is responsible for 80% of the UK's music revenue, according to a report. Black music is responsible for 80% of UK music revenue, according to a report. That's an amazing fucking headline, and kind of goes to show the crazy impact UK rappers had recently, and also the crazy impact stuff like Afro beats, Afro house, Afro swing has had in recent years. Because I think that's where the majority of the probably the consumption is coming from. And it's really cool because all those genres that I've mentioned, from UK rap to fucking maybe even UK R&B to Afro swing, Afro beats, Afro house, they're all genres that are unapologetically black. Because for a period in time, especially when I was coming up, there was this notion that the only way you could blow in the United Kingdom was to kind of whitewash yourself. You kind of had to make like poppy music. Like for instance, Tiny Temper's a good example, right? Tiny Temper's got that one song called Pass Out. It's fucking horrible, right? Fucking garbage. He's not the best rapper in the world either. But that song Pass Out And I'm thinking that album itself might be the most successful UK quote-unquote rap album of all time still till this day. That album it just crossed over every type of genre, every type of demographic. It fucking killed it. But unfortunately, I think the success of Pass Out also was like one of those indications that the only way to blow as a black artist is to kind of rap in that way. Like, it's to rap over like EDM-ish type of beats, to have this really like bubblegum type of style of rapping and shit and cadence, because, you know, Tiny Temper's a way better rapper than he showed on Pass Out. But in order to make that song and to become a successful artist and to get money and shit, you have to make that fucking festival, you know, Zara changing room music type of thing. And he did it and he killed it. But obviously the music wasn't great. So it's good now, so many years forward, so many years in the future, fast forward to now, we live in a time where black people can be themselves. You know, you can be unapologetic yourself. You can rap in your own country language and shit. You can be unapologetically black in your music videos and it still resonates with people, you know, in Europe, resonate with people in the UK. I fucking love it. I love that's the fact, because before in the past, that wasn't always the case. You had to definitely put on a kind of blazer jacket and start rapping about oopsie doopsie fucking traffic lights and all that shit to kind of get any type of recognition. So it's great to see that things have changed somewhat. Great to see. A new report has been published that details the role of black music in the UK. Black music means business, driving economic growth in the UK, published by the UK Music Industry Partners, has said that black music has contributed 80%, £24.5 billion to the UK music industry over the 30 years of recorded music. Look at that, man. That's something to be proud of. £24.5 billion UK black music has contributed to UK music overall. Love it. The report defines black music as music that has its roots in inspiration and derived from the cultures, beliefs, traditions, and history of black people in African diaspora, encompassing a diverse range of musical styles and practices that originated within the African diaspora, regardless of ethnicity of the musicians creating or performing them. It later expands the definition of black music, saying it's characterized by a distinct rhythmic melodies and harmonic structure that deeply rooted in African musical traditions and the storytelling and the consciousness of black communities globally, reflecting on their historical, cultural, political, and social experiences. However, the report adds, despite the overwhelming contribution, around 80% of black musician creators and professionals report experiencing persistent patterns and inequality and barriers to progression. It also added that only 22% of senior music industry professionals identify as black or other global majority backgrounds. It also found 20% of documented pay gap for black artists and industry workers. That's what I was going to say. As great as this is, the only concerning thing for me is that venues still don't really respect us in the UK. For instance, there's certain artists, certain MCs, certain UK rappers, certain UK drill rappers that you can't book in certain venues in London. You just can't book them. If you book them, the police will come down, take away the fucking club's license, or turn up at the venue and start, you know, causing issues and maybe, you know, shutting down the event in the first place. So you can't even book certain drill rappers to perform in clubs, which is really annoying, right? And then on top of that, clubs in the UK or in London specifically still have this weird thing where if you're like a black male and you rock up to certain clubs, especially places like in Shoreditch, like if you rock up to certain cocktail bars that happen to have because we don't really have a lot of nightclubs, right? Nowadays, we have a lot of these like cocktail bars where they have like a DJ in the corner and a small dance floor, right? Where people still put on some nights, or we have like a pub that has like a little dance floor with a DJ in the corner too. But a lot of these places, if you rock up, especially in Shoreditch, if you rock up there on your own as a black dude, you can't get in by yourself. You have to rock up as a black dude with girls to get in. Right, and even if you do that, it's still not a guarantee. And God forbid you rock up to some of these clubs with a group of black people because they happen to be your friends. You still won't get in. So getting into some of these places as you're black is really difficult. Putting on club nights that are centered around black music is also very difficult, unless you just want to play them as a DJ. But if you want to get some artists to perform and hold a microphone in their hand and fucking spit or sing, you're going to find it very difficult to do because there's going to come a lot of hurdles. As soon as you announce them on a flyer, those names will be passed to the police, and sooner rather than later, they're going to shut that shit down. It's really fucking horrible. It's really, 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 really fucking horrible. Like, for instance, like, I'm just thinking now, like, Unknown T is a good example, right? Unknown T, who's from what? Homerton. I don't think there's a club or a bar in Hackney that Unknown T can perform at. I don't think so. I think if I try to book Unknown T tomorrow and I put him on a flyer and said, yeah, here's my event, here's who's playing, unknown T live performance, that shit will get shut down before the day of the event. I'm sure of it. I'm sure Unknown T hasn't even performed in a local bar in Hackney ever before. Don't get me wrong. He might also be a kind of artist that is probably past that, right? Unknown T is a big artist. Maybe he wouldn't play for £500 or something at like a local bar. But I know people that have tried to book artists of that kind of level and caliber in like local bars and cocktail places and shit in clubs, and they've been shut down before the event has even started. So as great as this is to say black music is doing all these great things, there still needs to be more of these barriers lowered, gates open to allow some of us to come through and do our thing. You get me? Paulette Long, OBE, Vice Chair of UK Diversity Task Force, said black music has shaped the sound and global success of British music for decades, yet it's true, commercial value has never been fully recognized. True. This report makes it clear that the contribution is undeniable. The data shows that black music is a central commercial driver to the UK music industry, but it also reveals a clear opportunity gap. If we want to continued growth and global competitiveness, we must invest in the infrastructure, talent, and leadership behind it. This report is both celebration and a call for action. Exactly. I'm glad she said that. Big up Paulette Long, OBE. I'm glad she said that. It's both a celebration and a call for action. Great to hear, but more is needed. More is needed. More is needed. Talking about more, talking about needing, talking about more, talking about needing, talking about more, talking about needing. Yo, all of you people need to get off of Alarico's fucking neck. Alarico's been having a pretty intense couple of weeks, I feel like. Unnecessarily so. It started off with this, right? Big up Alarico. Big up Alarico. It started off with this. Somebody on the techno subreddit posted a thread that said, "I'm sorry, but this ain't it." And it features a video of Alarico in the gym flexing for the camera. Because in recent months, I guess, Alarico, like a lot of DJs, has gotten into fitness, has gotten into bodybuilding, has gotten into weight training, powerlifting, weightlifting, whatever. He's gotten into the gym. I feel like recently on my timeline, at least anyway, I see a lot more DJs kind of getting healthy. Like for instance, what's her name? Sarah Landry. Sarah Landry was like a pretty, a bit of a chubby girl. All of a sudden, she's lost a bunch of weight and looks, really good. And I think Alarico's another one, and I've seen quite a few more who are starting to dabble into the gym. I guess a lot of these guys and girls, maybe they got fed up of always being on the sesh. Maybe they want to have some balance and some, a bit whatever when it comes to their hedonistic life as a DJ. But whatever it is, a lot of DJs are starting to get into the gym. And obviously with the way that he plays and the style of shirts that he wears, it makes sense, right? You want to wear a wife beater, you want to play the kind of music you're playing, being in type of shape, it makes sense for what you're basically doing. It's going to allow you to be able to perform at your maximum level. And also there's nothing wrong with trying to be fit and healthy. But for some reason, within the techno scene, there's this like weird separation. Like there's all this talk about all of us being together and techno and dance music being a sort of quasi utopia where you could go there and you could be accepted for who you are, no matter what your sexuality, religion, color, race, creed is. You can go into a club, go and listen to some music, go to a festival, connect with people, and no one's gonna judge you. Everyone's welcome. Everyone's welcome. Well, that doesn't apply. That doesn't apply for the heteros. I don't think so. I don't think that applies for the straggarts. It applies for everybody else. All the queers and the LGBTQ man them and the girl them and the they dems, they get that acceptance. But when it comes to us, when it comes to the straggarts, when it comes to the heteros, whenever we do some stuff that's very straight coded, all of a sudden it's an issue. So this particular scene that Alarico is a part of, this techno scene, in my personal opinion, is very, for lack of a better term, heteronormative. It's very kind of cisgendered. It's very straight. Right? The girls that go to these clubs to see Alarico play, they're dressed like, for lack of a better term, sluts. Right? And the guys that go to dance at these places are also dressed like, for a better term, sluts. Right? They're sluts on the dance floor. Every guy's got tattoos. They've covered, they got their arms showing. The girls have fucking boob tubes on and no bras. They're bouncing up and down with their big boots. They're shuffling. They're having a good time. Is it for me? Is it for me? No. It's not for me in the slightest, but I appreciate that exists for the kind of bro scene, for the girls that like to look a bit cute and like, have this pretend dusty, look about them. They go to this type of thing. They go to these type of events. They wear their New Rock boots. They shuffle from right to left, right? They have those fucking weird tattoos that look like, you know, somebody drew them that's got fucking, I don't know, Alzheimer's or something, right? Like, they loved it. They love that sort of shit. No problem. But I don't see why the wider techno community has such an aversion to this crowd. You see it all the time whenever Maron is booked. Whenever Maron is booked at Berghain, you go in the Berghain community subreddit, you go through the comments, everyone is so aggro and angsty against the Maron crowd, because for the most part, the Maron crowd does kind of reflect some of this kind of like archetype of these type of people, with the sort of dad hat, with the fucking tattoo sleeves and shit, the fucking wife BER, or the sleeveless t-shirt, or just no top at all, barging through the fucking club and trying to act like it's their place, right? People always make a point of mentioning it in the flipping Reddit. And I just think, if all these guys were gay, if all these guys were queer, it wouldn't be an issue. But I don't understand why we just can't let people live. Like in this particular case, what is he doing wrong by trying to be fit? What's Alarico really doing wrong by trying to be fit? Why is this not it? Why is the title of this Reddit thread, sorry, this ain't it? Why? Because a DJ wants to be fit and healthy. Because a DJ wants to apply some balance in their life, which is the best thing to do, right? I've started to slowly get back into that thing. That's something that I used to always do in the past, right? I was always very steadfast in the idea behind working hard and playing harder. The idea of like balance, like, hey, I like to rave, I like to get on it, but it has to be a balance. Monday to Friday, you work. Saturday, Sunday, you go out and have a good time. Monday comes around, you clock back in again. You don't carry over. There's no afters on a Monday, and you get straight back to work again. I kind of let myself, go and went off the kind of, go a little bit too crazy and go a little bit self-indulgent. But in recent months, in recent weeks, I've started to do the same thing. Monday to Friday, you work. Saturday, Sunday, if you want to get on it, you can. But for DJs, it's even worse. For a DJ, you're a professional DJ. You are booked to play music. You're booked to DJ in these clubs. Most of the time, from like Thursday to Sunday, essentially, right? Thursday to Sunday, they're booked most places around the world. You're flying in, flying out. The lifestyle's pretty crazy. It's kind of easy, I think, to indulge and kind of go a bit crazy and get lost in the sauce. It's very easy to do so. So for a DJ to recognize they're getting lost in the sauce and to correct course, to course correct and reverse and say, you know what, I'm not going to do that. It takes a lot of courage. It takes a lot of wherewithal. It takes a lot of fucking determination. It's not easy, especially when you're being indulged, you're being pampered, people are looking the other way, you have a lot of money, you have a lot of free time, you have people that are enabling you, all this stuff, groupies, male, female, whatever. It's not easy. So the fact that he's taking the time to inject a little bit of fitness, a little bit of workout, a little bit of health in his fucking lifestyle, I think he should be applauded, not mocked for it. But for some reason, he was getting mocked for it. So on the Reddit thread itself, people in the comment section were saying, techno is doomed till the consumers find something new. Another person says here, let's scroll down. It's cringe more than anything. Definitely gives techno versions of LinkedIn lunatics. Is it really cringe though? What's cringe about it? So it's not. That's what I always thought when I was getting on it. I always used to think to myself, like, the really strange thing about getting on it is that when you post pictures of yourself going out having a good time, getting crazy, you get way more engagement and likes. But you post a picture of yourself, I don't know, revising, writing a book, training, running somewhere, or jogging, whatever. You don't get the same level of engagement. So it's okay if he's posting pictures of himself, a little bit crazy, going nuts behind the booth, or having a good time in the green room and stuff. But the moment he tries to flex and show off his gains of what he's doing in the gym, that now becomes an issue. Come on, man. Another one says, Alarico has become very pretentious after his sleeves got done and bro got jacked. His earlier days pre-jacked and pre-sleeves were funk assault. He was much more tame and humble. Now, not to compare, but I've yet to see this counterpart Klar, or Schlar, how do you pronounce that? Sorry, my friend, Schlar, say such things. Yet, let me make this clear. I am a fan of Alarico, his music, and I think that his product on social media, aura farming, bullshit DJs are expected to do nowadays, but he already had a platform before this stuff was all such an importance of the promoters. Please, that sentence is crazy. Maybe he's just trying to stay relevant and keep up, not getting replaced by TikTok DJ with every 6 month DJing experience and 2 months of producing on Soundtrap. Nah, I don't think that's true. I think it's okay as a fan of Alarico to say, hey, I preferred him before he got jacked and before he got his tattoos. But I don't think it's always so convoluted. It could just be, hey, now that I'm a bigger DJ, now that I've got more money, I've got more time, or now that I've done all the fucking drugs, now I want to get a bit healthy. There should be no harm to it. People should be encouraging him, if anything. But instead, the fans are upset The fans are upset that he's like looking after himself. It's now an indication that his music has gone bad because he's a bit more vain, I guess. He's a little bit more self-conscious. Like, God damn it. Yeah, he seems like he started going to the gym last year or something, and he's already got his arms out on every opportunity. There's a way to do it that isn't a bit cringeworthy. How can you... I don't think there's a single way. I don't think there's a single way as a DJ that you can get your sleeves done and also have your arms out with a tank top DJing behind a booth and then not be cringy. There's no way that you can be this person and not be cringy. The whole point of being a DJ is that you're cringy, you know? You also can't be a DJ. You also can't be a professional DJ and not be cringy. It's sort of like being a content creator, making stuff that I do. There's no way I can do this and not be cringe. Even if I try my best. Even if I try my best, inherently talking into a microphone in a room by myself with no one else around is inherently cringe. There's no one, do you know what I mean? There's nowhere else I'm avoiding it. So the idea of saying, oh, he's cringe because he's got his sleeves done. Shut up. Shut up. Honestly, shut the fuck up. Another person here says, a guy flexing after his workout said some braggadocious cringe stuff. I'm shocked. I say. So again, it's mostly because they're straight. There's a whole bunch of queer gay guys out there who are fucking jacked to the nines. You go to Berghain most nights, you will see some physical specimens that you have never seen in your life. Absolutely ripped to fuck. Ripped to fuck. The kind of guys that you'll see sometimes at Berghain with the tops off, the gay guys, they will make you have body dysmorphia. They'll make you feel self-conscious. I never feel self-conscious in every room I go to. I'm always the most confident person. I always think I'm the baddest person. I always think I'm the best person. I always think I'm numero uno. I always think I'm Picasso. I always think I'm fucking Walt Disney. Yay. You know, Steve Jobs, all combined when I go into any room. But whenever I walk onto that Berghain dance floor and I happen to bump or I happen to get bumped or barged by some of these, you know, super gay guys in Berghain, you figure to yourself, fucking hell, how do you look like that? I didn't even know muscles went. I didn't know you could even get muscles in your spine like that. I didn't even know you could get muscles like that. Where does that muscle come from? The level of jacked in there. So no one has a problem with that. Those guys probably spend way more time in the gym than what Alarico does. Or than what I do, for sure. Because in that, you know, in that scene, in that community of people, looking good is a very, you know, it's a big part of the gay scene, right? So obviously that makes sense. But it's no problem when the gay guys are out here getting jacked and ripped. But the moment a straight guy, you know, wants to get his arms out for the ladies and shit, everyone's got a problem with it and it's cringe. Come on, man. Come on. Do yourself a favor. Which chest, lil homie? If Alarico wants to flex, it's an idiotic post in a way, joke or not, and you ain't even big. Oh no, being a touring DJ is so hard. I have many flights. I feel so lonely. Honestly, like, just so much hate. Alarico's a troll and you're buying the bait. If you saw the stupid reels and the shit that he likes on IG, which are all trolls and satire, you might understand that it's purely to get a laugh. Check the comment sections on Yana or Alarico post. You'll see the friendly banter. Lighten up, folks. Guys, when did everyone get so sensitive? It's a joke. He's taking a piss out of people complaining about most people do for a dream job. Like, it's getting totally honest. For a second, flying across the world, DJ Mother. So anyway, whatever. So he got a lot of hate for that, right? Alarico got a lot of hate for that, yeah? He got a lot of fucking hate for that. A lot of people going in with him because he's now become, you know, a jack dude. Well, that wasn't it. The hate didn't stop there. The hate didn't only stop there. He announced the other day his own, I think it's a label. I don't think it's just an EP. I think it's his own label too. So Alarico announced his own label, right? And with his own label, he announced the title and the artwork of his label. And it sent people in a fucking tizzy. Because the label name is called Flirt. The label name is called Flirt. And people had a real big problem with the imagery that Alarico used for his label or EP, whatever, called Flirt. And the problem that they had with it is that it features some girls. Some horny looking girls, I guess. And I guess the criticism about Alarico is that some of his tracks feature too many like horny girl samples. Like, I don't know, I'd imagine stuff like, I don't know, I want to suck your dick, and then it kind of drops, right? Or whatever. I'm feeling wet, you know, all that sort of nonsense, right? And people have a real big problem with that, I guess, only when it comes from a straight guy. I personally think so. I think if a gay guy does it, it's not that big of an issue, especially when you think about some of the, you know, voguing songs and shit, whatever else it may be. But I digress. People had a real big issue with the covers, right? And I'll say this at first. If it was me, right? If it was me and I was in Alarico's team, if it was me and I was in his team and I was maybe helping with the art direction and stuff, I would have suggested, if the name of the EP or the title of the CD is called Flirt, I would have gone for a different imagery just to kind of subvert fucking expectations, you know, just to kind of approach it from another angle. I know it's called Flirt, but instead of having an imagery that with a girl that looks like she's sweating or something, and these two girls look like they're gonna get off with each other, they look very, you know, seductive and whatever else it may be. Those are obvious places to go. Like, let's get a hot girl on there looking sexy and stuff, blah blah blah. If you're gonna do the flirt thing, just do it a completely opposite image, okay, something completely opposite. Maybe you could kind of take the word flirt and figure out the etymology of it, figure out maybe different words that you connect with flirting. Maybe it's hand holding, maybe it's locking of the eyes, maybe it's a zoom, maybe it's like candid pictures of various people holding hands together. Maybe it's what, you know what I mean? Just different stuff. Or it could be complete stuff that's completely unrelated to the title of the EP. To subvert expectation, you know? Maybe it's a fucking picture of a fucking screwdriver. You know, completely different, but also kind of related to the term flirt, just to kind of subvert expectation and not be so like on the nose and obvious and bait. But it doesn't matter. He chose this anyway, right? This is artistic expression. I've got my point of view of what I think that the artwork should have been. I'm sure you have your point of view of what the artwork should have been. But he's the artist. He chose the artwork that best fits what he was trying to go for. And he put it out there. But people was killing him for it. Like saying, nah, this is not it. Like, look at the techno subreddit. I'll show you in other comments too. People, Alarico Flirt. Opinions on the visual artistic direction of Alarico's new label, Flirt. Another person says here, the groove is massive, but the artwork goes in line with the non-stop horny girl samples. Fuck the horny girl samples. I can stand a few, but every fucking track has them. I want to dance and groove. I don't care about all the horny girls you sampled for your tracks. So let me actually hear. I actually want to hear some of this stuff. Let me hear what it sounds like. What's it? Is it Alarico? Is it Flirt, right? Let's see. Is it on Hard Wax? Can I listen to it on Hard Wax or no? Is it available on Hard Wax yet? Or am I bugging? Alarico, let's see. Is it available on Hard Wax? No key. He's got that. Okay, cool. So it's not available there. Is it available anywhere? Can I listen to it anywhere? Let's see. Is the EP available anywhere? Flirt. Is that it? Okay, this is it, right? Okay, cool. Let's listen to what it is. So I guess it's part 2, right? I guess it's gonna be this. It's gonna be part 2. I'm assuming it's part 2. Let's hear what it sounds like. Surge. The first track is Surge. I like it, man. I like it. I like it. I like it. I like it. Uh-huh. Just quickly, by the way, I think the artwork works way better without the imagery. I said put an imagery that's not related. Maybe look at the word flirt and think of different images that can relate to it, like holding hands, eye connection, whatever else it may be, that's whatever, right? But I actually think just the title alone gets across what it's trying to say, especially with the red color and the black titles. I also like the logo of Flirt here on the side. It's a decent name. I think the name fits better without the imagery. Like, you don't actually need the imagery, actually, weirdly enough. You actually don't need the overt imagery of the girls looking all, you know, all seductive and stuff. It's probably not necessary. It gets it across already just with just the black on red text, or the black on red text there actually works pretty well in my personal opinion. But hey, what do I know? Where is it? Where are you? 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 Where did I put the fucking title? Is it here somewhere? Did I move it? What did I move it to? Oh shoot! Bear with me a second here. Where's the fucking thread? Where is it? Where are you? Where are you? Where are you? Ah, for some reason I can't find it. Now I can't fucking find it. Now I can't fucking find it. Where are you? Where are you? Where are you? It's not that one. It's not this one. Which one is it then? Okay, cool. Bear me 1 second. Let me just quickly find this. Where are you? It's not there. It's not here. I don't know where it is. Where are you? Is it obey? Where is it? Where is it? Okay, play again. Is that the flirty samples? Is that it? Just that sound of that girl like kind of moaning. That's the thing that's making people so annoyed. There's hardly anything there. Unless there's more coming. No pun intended, but there's nothing in there. Yeah, it's good, man. Nah, it's good, man. It's again, people are bugging. They're making it seem like this song or this EP contains loads of fucking horny samples, but it's not that much. You can barely even hear what she's saying. I always hear the side of that, right? Like a side. I don't know. There's like a little moan there. I can't even hear words. It's not even that bad. Like if you weren't paying attention, you'd think it's an instrument or something. You wouldn't even think it was a voice, you know? So I don't think it's that bad. I think people again are over exaggerating. It's not that bad at all. I like Alarico and his sound, but his label is very bad taste. Makes him look like a teenager going through puberty who's discovered boobs for the first time. This might be a money move going for the TikTok crowd who are more about the image rather than music. It still sounds good though. Even if what he's saying is true and it's maybe a little bit too horny, a little bit too, I don't know, like, you know, whatever, sex pesty, whatever the term is, right? It still sounds like good music. And I also think it's very in tune with what he plays and the people he plays for. I'd imagine that whole entire scene, because when I think of Alarico, I think of like, although he's not associated with him, I think of people like Samwen, I think of people like Kobalsi and shit. I think of that crew. And those crew, they walk like, they basically, for lack of a better term, again, please forgive me if this is incorrect, but the vibe those guys give off is that they DJ partly for the girls anyway. You know, they DJ partly so they can fuck. And the girls also enjoy that they DJ because they like to fuck them or like to stand next to them, you know? It's like a symbiotic relationship. Like it's like they all kind of get, you know, they get off on each other, for lack of a better term. Is it for me personally? Would I ever go to those events? Probably not. But you can't deny that the people that go to these raves are the type of people that would probably be happy and will be over the fucking moon if they got picked to be the cover girl of this fucking EP or whatever. They'd love it. They'd love it. You know what I mean? These are people that will be competing to send images in of themselves looking very seductive and salacious and whatever else may be explicit, so they could be featured on the artwork. They'd be super happy. They'd be queuing around the block to be taken pictures of, especially if it was like an in-person studio thing in Berlin or something. They fucking love it. So I understand for some people, maybe they don't want to see this type of imagery, but again, like I said, if this was the other way around, if this was for the folks that swing the other way, it wouldn't be such an issue. You know, it's okay to have like horny images if you're gay or you're queer, but the moment you start, you know, playing into the horny image thing and maybe start to objectify women and shit on the covers, it's bad. But if you're objectifying men or queer people on covers, it's not a problem. It's like, come on, man. I thought we were accepting of all people. I thought techno and the scene in general was accepting of all people, all flavors, all sexual orientations, all whatever. If that's the case, let everybody rock and do their thing. You don't have to like it. You don't have to be a part of it, but come on, man. All the fucking like hand wringing and pearl clutching, all this is fucking pathetic. Really is pathetic. Another person says, extremely tone deaf and just generally uncomfortable. What? You're uncomfortable by seeing a girl hidden behind some tech. Like, what? Uncomfortable? Are you for real? So if that cover makes you uncomfortable, how do you feel about the Epstein list? People just use big words that don't make any sense. If that makes you uncomfortable, what about everyone that you've seen, that they've heard about on the Epstein list and shit? How does that make you feel? How does the Diddy shit make you feel? If this makes you feel uncomfortable, such an overreaction. It's also disappointing to see male DJs who are speaking out about the serious issues of the harder techno scene just weeks ago now cheering this on under his post. What's the problem with it though? You like the guys are abusing girls out here and doing the madness, right? Bury them under the jail. But if you're a guy that, you know, doesn't abuse girls and treats them well, and you have a fucking, you know, it's like a mutual beneficial relationship where you go on tour and you smash fans and they like to hang out with you because they get free drugs and guest lists, what's the issue? Personally, I prefer if that wasn't the main thing in the scene with a lot of people. I feel like a lot of people go out mainly so they can hook up with people and, you know, do all that sort of nonsense. I wish there was more of a focus on the music, but unfortunately, this is the world that we live in now. People have turned people have made the hedonistic side of dance music the main thing. But it is a part of it. That's the thing that's annoying me. People are acting like this hedonistic, almost like slutty, sex addicted part of the scene isn't real. It is. It's obviously real. There are people that legitimately get to clubs, go for the sole purpose of trying to hook up, of trying to or just getting attention and getting that dopamine hit, of making themselves feel good, feel pretty, whatever it may be. That is also a thing. People are denying it. But I guess it's okay if it's in the queer scene, but it's not good if it's in the quote unquote straight scene. It's just like, come on, man. You don't have to like it. You don't have to like it, but let the people rock. It's not a good look to have all the union labels whose aesthetic is sexualizing women. I feel like for Flint's community, a situation like this, it must be awful. But is it really sexualizing women if they're okay being sexualized? Is that really a problem? Why is that a problem though? If the woman doesn't mind being sexualized and wants to use her sexuality in order to kind of, you know, display the image or get across a certain message, what's the problem with it? Same reason why I don't really have a problem with the girls that wear no bras jumping up and down behind the booth. Are they over-sexualizing themselves? Yes. Are they probably gonna regret it in the long run because there will be more of a focus on what they look like as opposed to their skills as a DJ? Of course. But in the here and now, if they want to break through, if they want to go viral, if they want to become a professional DJ, I get you. You do what you have to do. If you want to fucking activate the fucking DJ simps, go ahead. Jump up and down. Let your boobs swing. Do you, girl. I'm not going to hate whatsoever. But I hate people that denying that this is also a fact of music. This is also a fact of the scene. This is also an intrinsic part of the scene. People are denying its truth. It's here. You can't move past it. You can't move past it. It's a part of it. Another person says, I'm not really sure, not my cup of tea of artistically, but if the music doesn't suffer, then it's fine. Exactly. A mature comment for once. I kind of like, feeling like more of where Hayes is going instead. Even Primal Instinct. I can't defend those AI music videos they made for Primal Instinct as much as I love their sound. The EP cover art and track names are giving TikTok techno rave. But again, I don't mind it, man. I don't care. What does it say? Surge, lust, ivory, plastic, never enough, hallucinate. Again, like reading all this into track names is fucking insane. Anyway, it got so bad, right? It got so fucking bad. Look at the post on the Burger and Reddit. 114 comments. 114 comments. I first got finding, what's this? Yeah, he said it was addicted to young people. This coupled with a cringy gym post the other day makes me think he fumbled a techno bag. He's slowly growing. This type of shit would work for Kobo Seal in the hard techno circles, but not in the traditional techno circles. It doesn't matter, man. If this is your vibe and this is what you want to present artistically, I don't care what scene you're in, it should be accepted. I think people just have more of a problem with it, in my personal opinion, because it's coming from a straight guy. In my personal opinion, I think there's a resistance, there's an uncomfortability people have with like the sexualizing of women and maybe the overt sexualization coming from men in that side of the scene. Do I like it personally? No. Would I prefer we had a scene that was more focused around community, around music, around discovery, around skills and shit, and great production of events, all that malarkey? Of course. But unfortunately, this is the real world, and the real world has varying people who are into different things. There are some people who go out on nights out with the sole purpose of trying to hook up. With the sole purpose of trying to hook up in the clubs as well. You know, that's also a thing. So to deny that and to say it's not a thing is dumb. There's also certain people, girls included, who like being groupies, who like standing around booths flying around different locations and being there, being pictured there, getting guest lists and shit, being in the fucking green room. This is a part of the scene. Why are you denying it, man? Let people live that want to enjoy that sort of shit. Unfortunately, the lad culture has invaded the rave scene. It's corrosive and horrible. Is it though? Why is it corrosive and horrible? Why? Why is it corrosive and horrible? Because the guys don't say period. Because the guys don't fucking tap their feet. Like, come on, man. Like, we need to be able to accommodate all flavors in the scene. I think the scene and raving in general was way better when there was, you know, some lads in there, some gays, some FAGESs and shit, some they-dems, some older folks. That's when it was better, in my opinion, when we were all together, a melange, a melting pot. But now everyone's kind of got their own little scenes, their own little raves. Everyone's become really precious about what they want to see in certain places. But we should all share the dance floor together. This is where we should all come in the dance floor and you know, under the fucking lights and shit. This is where all those fucking preconceived notions of people should be left at the door. Left at the door. We should all unite because, hey, we love this DJ, we love this night, we love this scene, we want to be a part of it. It shouldn't be about, oh, because you swing this way, because you're a lad, because you identify this way, because you're this presenting, there you're not good for singing. It's like, come on, man, come on. Let's all be nice to each other, man. Let's all be nice to each other. Low effort, immature, out of touch. If an awkward solo bedroom producer with no one to imagine a sex theme techno concept like album like that, not great. I'm a fan of his music, but this is cringe. I feel like you can get the idea of Flirt across without being sexualized. That's what I was saying though. I think he could have got the idea of Flirt across without the overt image of sexualization. Without the overt sexualized image, he could have got the images across like what he did originally, like this. I think this works perfectly for him. I will say don't change this. I'll say the red with the red background with the black text, it works perfectly. It gets it across perfectly. Perfectly. And if it was me, and I was doing the artwork for the album, for the fucking cover, I would make sure the images were just completely unrelated to Flirt, you know? To make it kind of stick out a little bit. That would be pretty cool. As opposed to what's going on there. Sounds great. Visuals and ethos are incredibly poorly timed. Outdated given the techno Me Too movement, especially given testimonies of hard groove techno artists wearing the vest being called out. Just childish. No, I don't think as a DJ you should temper the way that you present yourself if you are sexualized because of what's going on with this Me Too movement. If you're a good dude, if you're a good guy, continue being a good guy. I think it's possible. I think it's very possible to be a good guy DJ that also maybe dabbles in going around the world and fucking people from time to time. I personally don't think it's the most healthy thing to do, but I think it is possible to be a good guy, good girl, whatever, and get that and be involved in that type of lifestyle, that type of debauchery. I don't think you should temper yourself because the bad actors in the scene are doing a madness, are being creepy, are doing somewhat illegal things, stuff that could get you fucking thrown in prison. I don't think you should temper yourself based on that, in my personal opinion. But again, what do I know? Well, to make matters worse, he actually deleted the artwork. He deleted the artwork and posted a somewhat of an apology on his Instagram. He apologized for having, I don't know, an opinion on what he wanted his art to look like. He apologized for the choice of artwork that he put on his fucking album, or his EP, sorry. And he posted a statement on his Instagram, basically walking all this shit back. Like, imagine apologizing for this. Imagine having apologized because you put a couple of pictures of some, I don't know, hot girls on your fucking cover. Is it a little bit cringe? Yes. Is he maybe too old for this? Yes. Okay, but again, it's my fucking artistic expression. This is why I wanted to get across. It didn't land, cool. You don't have to buy it, you can move on. Or I can make alternative covers, but I'm not going to change it or fucking apologize. But he did. He bowed to the pressure, unfortunately. He bowed to the public pressure and he apologized and deleted the post. Absolutely insane, to be honest. In my personal opinion, I think it's an absolute overreaction. An absolute overreaction and a pearl clutching that makes all of us look fucking dumb and immature and really reactive and just stupid. Like, in the grand scheme of things, this is so overblown. Alarico's statement. Dear everyone, I've seen a discussion around the artwork for the first Flirt announcement and want to address it. The photo features someone who has been deeply important to this project. She contributed vocals to several of the tracks and has been a huge part of my creative life. Sure she has, mate. The artwork was intended as a personal homage to her and the energy she brought to the music, never to sexualize or objectify anyone. At the same time, I understand that the imagery may have been received differently, especially in the context of the ongoing important conversations in the scene. I take that feedback seriously. Again, that feedback should have nothing to do with you if you don't move like that. I'm sorry, if you don't move like that, you shouldn't have to be walking on eggshells because there's some creeps in the scene. Because fucking, what's his name? What's his fucking name? Shlomo and was it Phantasm or whatever his fucking name is, and Hades and all these fucking dorks. Because all those fucking dorks are moving mad in the scene, doesn't mean everyone else has to kind of walk on eggshells. If anything, the guys that act like gentlemen should be brought to the forefront. You know what I mean? The guys that act like fucking gentlemen should be brought to the forefront, but you shouldn't be able to walk on eggshells and change your artwork because everyone is looking at some of these creepier DJs. If you're not creepy, you don't have anything to worry about. To respect the discussion and avoid further misunderstanding, I'm updating the artwork for the release and wherever it has been already published. I care deeply about this community and about contributing to the scene where people feel comfortable, respected, and safe to express themselves. I will take this feedback on board and approach future visual decisions with greater awareness. Thank you for everyone who's shared their thoughts respectively. I really appreciate it and invite you to engage with me on this topic as I'm keen to hear you out and understand and reflect. Oh my God, man. Fucking hell. Like, why? Like, you didn't need to apologize for this, brother. Honestly. Yes, was it a little bit cringe? Cool. Was it a little bit corny? Yeah. But so what? So what? This is harmless, man. Absolutely harmless. And the people that are complaining, in my opinion, are the people that won't even buy your stuff anyway. They don't even listen to Alarico in the first, but they won't go to his fucking raves. But they've got such an opinion on the imagery that he puts out in terms of what he wants to express artistically. Like, come on, man. Do yourself a favor, man. Everyone just overreacting over fucking nothing. Nonsense. Maybe people are a little bit pent up and a little bit, you know, what you call it, sensitive because of what's going on with this Me Too movement stuff. But again, focus your energy on the niggas and the people who actually need to get cancelled. You know, the people who are out here fucking, I don't know, teenagers in fucking South America. The people who are out here allegedly, you know, trying to hook up with girls while they're sleeping, trying to take advantage of drunk girls and shit. Those are the ones that should be focused on. Not people who, oh, I'm going to put a picture of my cute girlfriend on an album cover because I think that might get some of the simps or some of the whatever gooners to buy the album cover more. Or it might get across what I'm doing. Or it might be an actual reflection of my life. Where I am out and outside and I'm surrounded by some of these, like, do you know what I mean? What the fuck, man? Like, come on, man. Come on. In the comments, big up Bailey Ibbs. Can't fault taking the time and action to amend this within the short space of time. Anyone who knows you knows you're a good guy and cares about what's right. Deep love, mate. Big love, mate. Really pleased to see this. I don't think it was necessary, personally. Yes, it was kind of cool to see somebody acknowledging some of this in real time and taking the feedback on board and not, you know, and not letting it, and not kind of, I guess, not taking it like, not getting defensive, understanding where it's coming from. And maybe, to be fair to the critics right there, right? Maybe the critics expect more from Alarico because they rate him more as a DJ. They rate him more as an artist, right? So maybe the likes of Kobo Seal, the likes of someone that I mentioned earlier, maybe some of these people in the scene don't expect much from them because they make like TikTok music or whatever they think they make. But maybe people like have a lot of high hopes for Alarico because I think he signed to Key in it, right? Which is Freddie K's label. So maybe there's a lot more respect, there's a lot more admiration for him as an artist and a person because who he signed for or who he DJs with, blah, 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 blah. But I still think, as an artist, you should be allowed to express yourself the way you want to express yourself, within reason, of course. And I also don't think the reaction that he's been getting for this album cover is warranted. It's not warranted. It really isn't. It really isn't that deep. Is it a little bit, even the title of the thing, is it cringe? Flirt? Yeah, it is, a bit cringe. But whatever, man, that's my expression. That's what I was feeling like at the time. That's what I wanted to name it. Sometimes you're in the studio and that's where the inspiration comes from. Maybe you were flirting as you were making the track and that's where the inspiration comes from. Maybe you're just in the fucking flirty era or whatever it may be. That's where the inspiration comes from that's led into the album. That doesn't mean to say the whole thing's going to be sex-based, whole thing's going to be fucking seduction-based, romance-based. It might just be that's the kind of initial theme, the tone that set the project in motion. And the other tracks might be completely different. You never fucking know. Everyone jumping to conclusions again, Nicholas or something like this is so fucking dumb. Big overreaction. Blasher Alat said, thank you for taking the advice to remove the artwork. Again, like, cancel culture can work sometimes, but when it's done like this, where people think like they can tell you when to, like, honestly, I would have, if it was me, I would have just kept the art. Even if I did agree that it was cringe, I would have just kept it out of principle because people are telling me to remove it. Like, who are you to tell me what I can do or can't do with my art? Do you know what I mean? Like, my creative expression, my artistic expression. Like, what the fuck is this? Like, my artistic expression is now being kind of dictated by how it makes people feel. Oh, you make me feel uncomfortable because I put a picture of a girl there. It's not like it'd be a different thing if it was like a blurred out picture of someone's minge on the fucking cover. Fair enough, right? But it's a cover picture of some girls looking like there's worse pictures on Twitter most days. Like, come on, man, everyone get a fucking grip. You know, we supported you from earlier in your career, so this comes from a place of love. It was tasteless and against the backdrop of what women are. Why is it tasteless though? Why is it tasteless? So if the Me Too thing was happening, having some girls on the album cover is tasteless. Get out of here, man. It was tasteless against the backdrop of what women are currently speaking about against the scene specifically, so no wonder there was a backlash. You have a big following and that comes with influence. We know you're one of the good guys. Yuck. Bruh, I don't think you have to go around talking about you're one of the good guys. Your actions speak louder than words. And I think on that sense anyway, if you are one of the good guys, give me the benefit of the doubt then. If I'm one of the good guys, give me the benefit of the doubt. Don't lecture me about what I should and shouldn't be doing. You know? Oh, you're one of the good guys, but we're going to assume that you meant to do this in a creepy way. We're going to assume that you had the worst intentions. We're going to assume that the girls you put on the cover were exploited. They didn't know the pictures were taken. Like, we're going to assume all these things. But you're one of the good guys. Man, get out of here with this fake concern thing, sympathy, empathy shit, man. Get out of here. You have a big following, and with that comes influence. We know you're one of the good guys. Your intention wasn't to cause any harm, but it's important to step outside of the bro echo chamber. What's wrong with the bro echo chamber, brother? What's wrong with the bro echo chamber, Blash and Alat? There's a queer echo chamber that also exists. Is that not bad? No one talks about that out. No one's allowed to say nothing about that. But if you're in a bro echo chamber, that's a problem. Like, I'm not even in that fucking thing, and it fucking pisses me off. Like, why can't we all just let each other exist in our own little bubbles, our own little echo chambers? Because in that little echo chamber of bro echo chamber, in that that makes no sense. In that fucking bro echo chamber, maybe this artwork is okay, right? Maybe that's perfectly fine. No one's gonna bat an eyelid. If you see this on, if you replace Flirt with DC-10, no problem, none whatsoever. If you replace Flirt with what's that fucking thing? I don't know, with passion. What's that? With Fuse. If you replace Flirt with Fuse, no problem whatsoever. But of course, if you put that as a flyer, or you replace the word Fuse with another, with a fucking, with a queer that maybe in that kind of scene, it's not gonna go down well. I get it, but maybe in other scenes, certain artwork, certain aesthetic goes well and blends well with what they do. You shouldn't have to. You shouldn't carry your expectations, your taste, your whatever, and apply it to other echo chambers. Stay in your echo chamber. Whatever goes there is fine. Be happy actually when you see this sort of stuff. Oh yeah, this could never run in my little echo chamber. But trying to dictate what other people do based on what you feel comfortable about is fucking asinine. It really is. And see these images perpetuate misogyny. It's a fucking cover of an EP. Oh my god. Anyway, those saying we're too sensitive clearly do not see the bigger picture. I don't. You have real opportunity to empower women and minorities within our scene, and really hope that you can do that going forward. Honestly, this is such an overreaction. Man. I can't believe we have such babies, man. Such babies in the scene. Like, if the guy is such a good guy, why not give him the benefit of the doubt? Why assume that it was done with the bad intentions? Like, honestly, man, people are just like awful. If you don't do things exactly the way they want you to do them, you're problematic. It's like, huh? Why can't I express myself when I want to express myself? People who complained about this need to get over themselves. Exactly. Thank you, Kevin. Thank you. I admire you for listening to the feedback, but this is your art. Exactly. Anyone who has a problem with it, just projecting their own insecurity about it. We're not supposed to agree with everything we see. Sometimes things make us uncomfortable. It's not up to the artist to make someone feel comfortable about what they don't like. And it's not even up to you to explain it. I'm even pissed off that I explained it. If you wanted to just change it because, the feedback was whatever, cool. But don't explain yourself. Don't say, oh yeah, the girl that's on it is a friend of mine. Let people assume what they want to assume. Don't even explain yourself. It's your art. Like, what the fuck are you explaining yourself for? Like, what the fuck? Another person, a big part of the artwork meant a lot to me, and I was generally happy to be involved. It came from a place of appreciation. I never felt uncomfortable with it. Thank you. Oh, that's one of the girls, right, isn't it? Big up this lady for defending fucking Alarico. That's nice. Well done to her, man. That's really cool. Big up her. She defended him there. Nice to see. What did the reply say that? Big up one of the cover girls of defending him. Most important thing is that you enjoyed and felt comfortable doing it. Second, you look amazing. People are always going to find something to say because there's so much negativity out there. Expressing yourself in form of art, ignore and keep doing what you're doing, girl. Exactly. Big up that girl stepping in and defending him. Nastya come in there, so I'm glad you had time to think about it and made a change. Would be great to see you both for the cover as published, so many cool pictures together already. Flirt isn't about women. Flirt is always about the least two people. Alarico for the cover. Yeah, that's actually a good suggestion. That's actually a good suggestion. If you're gonna do the flirt thing, like make it, yeah, you know, have it two people on there. Actually, like that's not a bad suggestion there. We still have a long way to go, especially when I see so many people in the comments saying they didn't see an issue with it. People need to touch grass. Nothing wrong with the cover. Exactly. I respect you for lending it here to the fans, but wasn't techno about freedom of expression? Exactly, and resistance. Them complaining about the cover art when the art is completely subjective in the eye of the beholder is what baffles. And exactly, and also trying to blend the two things. The Me Too, like, honestly, we heard, right? We heard a story, courtesy of fucking Brad No Limit, of allegedly slow-mo, allegedly, I said this allegedly, traveling to places like Colombia with the sole intention of fucking 16-year-olds. This is what we're hearing, right? We're hearing these things from Brad No Limit. We're hearing these things. And people are trying to conflate what that scumbag is allegedly doing in fucking South America, in third world countries, with fucking Alarico posting a picture of a friend or someone that he knows or whatever on an album cover that looks cute, that matches the fucking title of the EP. Are we for real? Are we for real? You're trying to fucking equate Shlomo sharing a story about him and his friends hooking up with a girl that was drunk in the green room while her dad was outside with fucking him putting a picture of a cute girl on a cover. Like, fuck off, man. Like, honestly, so disingenuous. Like, god damn. Like, come on, bruh. Like, as if they're the same thing. Oh, you should be more sensitive. To what? To what? I'm not doing that. Why should I be sensitive? I'm not out here fucking abusing people, taking advantage of fans and shit. Fuck out of here, man. Fuck out of here. No, but people really have no problem with it in real life. Exactly. Techno, like any art form, should stand for freedom of expression. It may not be my personal style, but honestly, I don't see anything wrong with what you did. Exactly. I don't even fucking like it. It's a bit early 2000s for me, right? It's a bit early 2000s for me. It's a little bit, you know, it's a little bit whatever. It's a little bit too on the nose, a little bit too obvious. I think nowadays, when it comes to artwork, you sometimes have to like subvert meanings, come from a different angle. You know what I mean? Like always apply that kind of Kanye philosophy of approaching things in a different way. Not going for the expected thing. That's what you should probably do. But it's your expression. Run with it. Run with it. And also it's music. If the cover, I don't like it, but the music is good, I don't give a fuck. Really and truly, I really don't give a fuck. What concerns me more is how quickly people jump to judge, often just following trends or opinions without thinking for themselves. If an artist wants to explore a more sensual or provocative aesthetic, that's their choice. If they choose the opposite, that's equally valid. Exactly. If you don't like horny samples, I get it. Horny samples can be a bit cringe. Playing horny samples on your headphones, especially if they're non-cancelling headphones, can be fucking wild, right? Hearing, you know, people overhearing the moans and groans or accidentally playing that shit aloud can be very embarrassing. I get it. I get it. But just because it makes you embarrassed, it makes you feel uncomfortable, doesn't mean you have to tell the person they have to stop doing it. Or you have a right to say that. It doesn't mean that. I'm sorry, it doesn't. It doesn't. We need to move away from this culture of social banning that limits creativity instead of encouraging it. Nothing here felt abusive or disrespectful. Just a different, slightly cheeky way of expressing emotion about how you feel for your music should be felt. That should be allowed. Exactly, man. You may not like it. It's a bit cringe. It's a little bit immature coded, whatever. But fine, man. Another person. Don't change it. It's something you as an artist already created with a lot of effort and dedication. I think you should change it. Just because it just looks a bit lame. Not because I don't like the message, but it looks a bit lame. I think what he did with the color works way better. Or if you're going to do the image, make it an image that's completely unrelated. Just to kind of, you know, add a bit of something different there. I think that would work much better. But again, what do I know? Continuing on. If you do, it would be like telling Picasso to change his artwork. Picasso's a bad example, I'm not going to lie. Picasso's a bad name to mention. Given, you know, given what we know about, you know, great artist, one of my favorite artists of all time. You know, someone I studied when I was in uni doing art and shit. One of my favorite artists of all time. But given, you know, Picasso's history with women, we have to maybe not mention him. Probably not the best example there. Probably not the best example. But hey, I digress. Or you digress. To change his artwork just because society at the time didn't like it. If you start doing that, later on they'll tell you to start changing some lyrics in a song simply because they feel affected. Exactly. It will never stop. The fact that he bucked to this pressure. The fact that he fucking kneeled. The fact that he fucking, you know, acquiesced is now going to invite all these motherfuckers to start critiquing and pointing and say, hey, you're going too chatty, you're being too broy, you're doing too much gym, not too much on the chest, not too much on the bicep. Like, shut up, man. Honestly, you are great and you are an artist. You have to remain neutral, accept the feedback you receive, but don't change anything. The modern world sucks. How posting a picture of your face with your girlfriend can be seen as sexualization. Exactly. I'm sorry, but oh, is that girl his girlfriend? Actually, is that girl actually his girlfriend? That makes it even more hilarious. Is that girl his girlfriend? That makes it even more hilarious. If one of these girls is actually his girlfriend, that makes it even more hilarious. People are getting their knickers in a twist about him putting his girlfriend on the cover. If that's the case, that's fucking hilarious. Honestly, people are so pathetic sometimes. Honestly. What an overreaction, man. I'm sorry, but you should never compromise your art due to the projected insecurities. Nothing against you. I get the subject as of late has been sensitive, but people taking it literally as objectifying women is a reach. People see the surface and don't do their due diligence. People try to bitch about these little things when there are much bigger issues going on in the world. I don't think that's the argument. I think the argument should be, don't relate what I'm doing with my cover to what Shlomo and them motherfuckers are doing. Don't do that. You know what I mean? Don't make that correlation. Because he kind of looks like them a little bit dress-wise, maybe the music is different, but because maybe aesthetically he's kind of similar to how they kind of dress, doesn't mean he's doing exactly the same things, you know? Just because those guys are out here doing the madness and, you know, creepy, weird stuff with fucking girls, doesn't mean he has to now, what? Like, curb what he's doing, change what he's, like, I'm not doing anything wrong. The artwork really reflected the sound you've been honing in for the last few years, in my opinion. Stay true to your vision, brother. So yeah, absolutely nonsense, man. In my opinion, nonsense. Such an overreaction. But now we know why you chose to offer your new label at the stage of your career. With your skills and fame resources, Tate influenced... Huh? God damn, Anastasia Christensen. Why'd you say that for? Bloody hell, she went hard. But now we know what you chose to offer with your new label at this stage of your career with your skills and fame and resources. Tate infused incel brontourage audiences are cheering. Okay, I guess she's not happy. Who else is here? I am Show, Alison Rivera. Have here for you. Please keep doing you. Anyone expressing an honoring creative process in any form should not be harassed. Hey, thank you. I want you to know that your intention to honor someone important to your music comes through, and that kind of authenticity is something. No, it doesn't really come through, to be fair. The pictures are quite horny. It doesn't really come. If you want to honor somebody and honor his girlfriend, you could have taken way better pictures. The pictures aren't even that great, you know. If you want to honor your girlfriend, she deserves better pictures than that, you know. Better pictures. I think she deserves to not look, you know, like that. I think you could have took way better pictures, like a nice close frame fucking film picture, maybe of her doing something nice, you know, something motherly, something cute, something romantic or something. That'd be way better, do you know? As opposed to the other, or maybe you two together, maybe one of the first pictures they took together. I don't know, whatever. But again, you know, maybe that's not what you want to do. Who am I telling what to do? Sending support, blah, 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 blah. Anyway, so that happened there. So everyone was pissed off, but he changed it. So I hope everyone's happy about him changing it because, you know, now you won. Now the crowd won. I guess to a certain extent, the crowd won. So yeah, there we go. He posted it on his post over there. We saw that. Okay. And then the other thing I want to talk about is there was actually an update post, actually. Let me see if I can find the update post where a lot of people were discussing as well. The update post was equally, I think, was actually interesting because I think a lot of people agreed with what I was saying in terms of it being a great, big, over fucking reaction. A really big, great overreaction. Let me quickly burn my nose. Okay, let's continue. Yo, big up Izanella. Actually, the photo is too blasé. Or it's too passe, sorry. If anything, it needs to go harder. Real risque art that makes you like sports literature. Exactly. Like, you could go two directions. With the title Flirt, you go two directions. You go like super sexual, like bordering on explicit, or you go the complete opposite way that doesn't really have anything to do with the title Flirt. Like, for instance, like, imagine you had like a box of tools as the background. Imagine it was a fucking yacht. Imagine it was a fucking croissant on a table, like a really nice croissant image, you know? You go completely opposite. So either you go really sexual or you go the complete opposite, and that would probably fit the title of it. But if the title has something to do with his girlfriend, like imagine if it's his girl, if it's like a tribute to his girlfriend, right? Hey, we met each other, and the term flirt was one of the words that we used to describe each other. I don't know, when we first met. I don't know. I'm just thinking aloud here, right? I have no idea about the relationship. I have no idea who fucking his girlfriend is in the first place, right? Actually, I think it might be that blonde earlier. Is that the girl? Let me scroll down in his profile. Is the girlfriend actually the blonde lady? Let's double check his profile. Big up Alarico still. I think, you know, you did nothing wrong, brother. Maybe it's this lady here. I don't think she doesn't look the same though. I don't think it's the same person. Maybe it is. I don't know. But regardless, right? Like, this picture would work as the cover too. But imagine if it was a you know, something that they kind of relate to, because, you know, it's something that they did when they were together, the term flirt. Cool. No problem. But then what's the issue if it's to do with his relationship? And also, he should have to explain it. He should not have to explain it. He should not have to explain it. In my personal opinion, he should not have to explain it to make people feel comfortable. But I was happy to see that it wasn't only me that thought it was over the top. Some people in the techno subreddit did agree and say the apology and all the fucking backlash and outrage around it was fucking stupid. So someone in the comments says, and Zuma being part of this artwork meant a lot to me. Exactly. Word of the lady on the cover. Exactly. Case closed. Not for everyone, it seems. I don't know how people keep criticizing. Knowing the context, a woman on the cover collaborating in the whole process. What remains is an outraged public that policed a woman to express herself tastefully in a sexualized way. Exactly. It's so fucking stupid. It's so fucking stupid. Techno has become a bunch of gatekeepers that police how you look. If y'all would have a heart attack with Chicago Ghetto House, exactly. Although I'm opposed to the policing of artwork, aesthetically the cover and the song titles were, as the kids say, pretty cringe. However, the word I prefer to use for aesthetics would be kitsch. If the art is considered kitsch, it's typically perceived as being a banal and superficial in quality. I think the cover offended people aesthetically because, well, the sexy techno woman is a tired, empty trope, which doesn't exactly conjure up images of resistance, counterculture, and rebellion. But unfortunately, techno isn't that anymore. There are some pockets where that exists, where those three cornerstones of techno still exist: rebellion, counterculture, resistance. But for the most part, techno is just an aesthetic now. Techno is fucking somebody putting a fucking choker around their neck. Techno is somebody buying a harness from Amazon. Techno is somebody buying double-soled Dr. Martin boots. That's what techno is to some people now. Techno is wearing a fucking studded belt. Techno is having a fucking tramp stamp tattoo. That's what techno is to some people. Techno, some people is getting their face covered in piercings. It's just an aesthetic. It's a hair color. It's a hair dye color. It's a shaved head. You know what I mean? That's what techno is nowadays. It's not no more, really, for the most part, about resistance, counterculture, or rebellion. There are some people that still espouse those kind of, you know, cornerstones, and we celebrate them. But for the most part, if you go in most big techno subreddit kind of, you know, techno Instagram fucking pages, the one I can think about straight away is that Berlin techno something, right? What's it called? It's called Berlin techno something. You go in that and you see what people are really about, right? Berlin techno OFC. This is kind of what the scene's about. It's about, you know, scantily clad girls. Like this girl, has she got a top on? Of course. Has she got a bra on? Of course no bra. No bra, bouncing up and down, playing something, right? Whatever. That's what techno's about. Is that the sound? Can I hear it? Yeah, this is what the scene is. This shit. This is what the scene is. People jumping up and down. Is it good though? Not too sure. And obviously, there's some sexualizing on women in there. There's going to be some zooming in on the camera of some girl dancing, looking cute and shit. That's the scene. That is unfortunately the scene. Another one here. We don't care about her. Let's move on. Right? Like, it's all the same shit. Unfortunately. Unfortunately, the scene is that. There is no more counter. All these legends, right? All these legends that laid the fucking groundwork for all of us out here to be doing what we're doing now. They're no longer what people are fucking looking at and pointing at. It's completely different now. It's mostly aesthetic. It's mostly vibes. Unfortunately, most of it is vibes, most of it aesthetic. It's not what we would hope it would be. This sounds pretty good though. I take it back. That sounds pretty good. Most of it isn't that, unfortunately. It's all superficial shit. It's all pretty superficial shit. It's not all this stuff. It's not Jeff Mills. It's not this, unfortunately. It's different shit. It's different shit. Unfortunately, it's different shit. We got Jeff Mills, legend. Come on. Unfortunately, the scene is no longer like this. The scene is no longer like this. It isn't. This too. Nor do the surface level BDSM track titles, especially Dogs Playing Poker. I think a lot of people conflated the aesthetic repulsion with the political landscape of the Me Too movements. Kudos to him for collaborating with his girlfriend and trying to honor her contribution. The way the product was presented, though, perhaps just comes off a bit insincere or empty when positioned with a larger historical aesthetical framework. If I have to be honest, I'll say this. I personally think the whole explanation about the girlfriend is bullshit. I think it's just you're just panicking and trying to like save face. I think the title Flirt is what it means, Flirt. I think the imagery that you see there is what you see there. That's what he wanted to get across. You know, he's a horny lad. He's probably getting a lot of, you know, action out there, being a popular DJ. Girls probably like him and shit. He enjoys their company. He wanted to fucking display that on the cover, you know? He's currently got, I mean, I think that's it. It's fairly self-explanatory. I think the whole thing about, oh, it's my girlfriend. Nah, I think if it was, you'd probably approach it in a different way. You'd probably take a bit more, I don't know, if it was me, it'd be a bit more tasteful, or it would be a really fucking aggressive picture, you know, opposite way, with both of you on the cover maybe, in some fucking embrace or something, you know what I mean, going that direction. But I think this was clearly what he was trying to do. It didn't land, fair enough, but trying to, you know, forcing him to fucking change it and shit, write an explanation is like, oh yeah, it's such an overreaction. It really is. He didn't need to do that at all. It wasn't that deep. I finally was able to see the artwork in question. Are you guys fucking kidding me? LMAO, it's not my favorite looks like a 2000s IB for artwork, but to cause a scene to get him to change it. What the fuck is wrong with people? Exactly. Especially in techno scene, which is notoriously hedonistic. And people don't want to believe that, by the way. People don't want that. I don't know why. I don't like the cover IMO. Techno works better with abstract imagery, but come on, this is tamer than Rihanna cover, or at least Taylor Swift. Exactly. Exactly. You know, like it really is not to get me. You know what? Actually, it does look a little bit better when you see it in a small image like that, doesn't it? It does actually look a little bit better when you see an image like that. Oh, there's part one. Okay, cool. Are the other tracks out yet? They're not out yet, are they? Can you listen to these tracks? Also, all the tracks are out. You listen. What does Desire sound like? Where are the horny samples then? Where are the horny samples everyone was crying about? Where are the horny samples everyone was crying about? They're not there. I don't see no horny samples. It's not even that bad. Like, come on, man. The tracks are great. I don't know, some people are so putting a tizzy about it. Like, relax, man. Ivory. Good techno, man. This is unequivocally good techno. You can't deny that, man. You really can't deny. Maybe that's the reason why everyone's so. Maybe that's the reason why some people are so upset. Then maybe because they really rate him. That's why this is unequivocally great techno. Come on, man. This is really good. What motherfuckers talking about? This is really fucking good. Pick up Alarico. Plastic. Yeah. No, he's hard. Yo, if anybody finds out, right? If anybody finds out that these are available to buy the vinyl with the current album cover, I want them. Because I'm sure there's not going to be many made. Or maybe hopefully he's printed some already. If he's printed some with the original fucking artwork, I want them. I want them in my collection. I'm going to play some of these tracks. This is fucking hard. This is really fucking good. Really fucking good, man. Really fucking good. He killed it. Obey Part 2, Obey Part 1. Really fucking stellar work there by Alarico. Really fucking stellar work. Everyone fucking complaining can shut the fuck up. I think the people just dislike Alarico and looking for vectors to attack him at this point. Exactly. Considering the post on here a couple weeks ago about him bullying people for making snarky IG posts about hitting the gym while touring, I agree. Can anyone share the removed artwork? I can't even find it anymore. So the techno scene now has the same morals as Christian community. Got it. Exactly. Honestly, I've been seeing this happen all across the political left and alternative cultures. It's like the side that used to be anarchist, liberal, hedonistic, etc. is now all a bunch of morality police. Like they are all about being sex positive and supporting free expression by image of... Exactly. That's the thing. It's all about sex positivity until it involves straight guys. Basically. Not even straight women. It's just a problem with straight guys for some reason. It's all pro positivity, all body positive, like sex positive, whatever. Kink this, kink that. But the moment, you know, the moment a straight guy wants to, the moment a straight guy wants to jack off, everyone treats him like a terror. Everyone treats him like a suicide bomber. Yo, a kink rave hates to see a straight guy jacking off by himself. A kink rave hates to see a solo straight guy coming. You know, the kink scene hates to see a solo straight guy come in, bro. He pulls out his piece, bro. Everyone runs. Everyone screams. Everyone ducks for cover. Understandable, though. Understandable. Because sometimes, you know, we can be on the madness. We can be on the fucking madness. But yeah, big up Alarico, man. Big up Alarico. Check out, what's it called? Check out fucking Obey Part 1, Obey Part 2. Available on his Bandcamp, available on that site I mentioned earlier. You can check it out and shit. You get me? I want to get the vinyl with original artwork. That's what I want to get. I want to get that. So I'm gonna see if I can get that and purchase that original vinyl with that art cover. I want the artwork. I want that. I want that memory. You get me? I want that flipping memory. Big up everybody tuning in, though. Big up everybody tuning in. Big up everybody tuning in. Hope you guys are having fun out here as we express ourselves and discuss everything concerning techno and everything else in between. If you're liking what you're seeing what you like, please like the stream down below. I implore you, please, if you can, like the stream down below. If you see what you like and you like what you see, that'd be greatly appreciated. Given the things I'm discussing and the time that I'm taking to discuss them, that's the least you can do for me. That's the least you can do for me. Please, I beg of you, like the stream, subscribe to the channel. If you're listening via the podcast app, of course, give me a 5-star review at the end, right at the end. Whilst you're listening to this, I'll also be appreciated. That'll also be appreciated because, hey, we're out here, innit? We're out here trying to do a thing. We're out here trying to do a thing. Thank you so much for tuning in as per usual. Let me just get rid of a few of these comments here. Bear with me. Boom, boom, boom. Okay, let's freaking go. Let's continue. So the other thing I also wanted to talk about, is regarding the title of this particular show, which is regarding Nigo. There's a really cool Nigo article on the fucking Financial Times of all places. A really cool Nigo article on the Financial Times of all places, which I think is kind of tied in with this article that I saw from Hypebeast regarding Human Made. It said Human Made is quietly establishing itself as a $4 million capital. With $4 million capital, big up to Hypebeast, but expand a little bit on that regarding this Financial Times article where you see Nigo in the studio. First of all, Nigo looks great, given how old he is. I think he's like in his 60s or 70s, if I'm not mistaken, right? Nigo, big up Nigo, one of my inspirations in life. Nigo age, I think he's like 60, right? 55. So he looks fucking fantastic for his age still. He's still out here dressing. Got this amazing vintage Levi's set on. And he's also got, I think, if I'm not mistaken, these are human made sneakers, right? I think they're human made. I think so. I forgot what they are, but these white sneakers that you see here, I think they're like an early sneak peek of a human made shoe. I'm pretty sure they're human made shoe, or maybe they might be a Nike. I'm not too sure. Maybe it might be a Nike, but I remember seeing a post about them recently that he's working on his own like signature shoe type of thing coming out very, very soon. Let me see if I can find it actually. Nigo shoe. Let's see. I saw something about it recently. News. What was that one recently? It was leaked, and it's like a leak of him wearing something. Nigo shoe leak. Let's see if that comes up anywhere. Okay, nothing so far, but it's something to do with him anyway. But we'll read the article regardless because I thought it was really cool. It says in the studio with Nigo, Japanese premier polymath. I love the term polymath, man. That's what I want to describe. That's what I want to be described as. If someone writes about me in an article, I want to be described as a polymath. I love the term polymath because that obviously encompasses, you know, it just means you do loads of things. It just means you have a forward slash after each thing that you do. Photographer, writer, DJ, artist. I mean, that's fucking great. I love the term polymath. I fucking love it. The only thing cooler than being called a polymath is being called a polyglot, which is a person that speaks more than 5 languages, if I'm not mistaken. Oh, fucking love it. The article courtesy of the Financial Times. It's a crisp morning in January, and a surprisingly clean and well-kept studio in Tokyo. Nigo is demonstrating his skill at the pottery wheel. The Kenzo designer is sitting. Oh yeah, I forgot he designs for Kenzo. You know, jeez, he's been doing that quietly, very, very consistently for a long time, isn't it? Now, if it feels like it. Fuck, you know, well done to Nigo. The Kenzo designer is sitting on a stool covered with Alexander Gerard fabric, wearing his signature double denim and sneakers from his human made label. Okay, cool. So those are human made sneakers coming out soon then. Those are human made sneakers. I think that might be the first one. Human made sneakers. I think that might be the first one actually. I'm not gonna lie. I think they might be the first ones he's actually made. Human made sneakers, right? Any leaks here? Human made Nigo, human. Let me write that. I do remember seeing them on Twitter sometime, but there's more information about it because I know he's done collaboration with Nike and shit. Yeah, there we go. There we go. There we go. We got a picture here from Instagram. So it doesn't have a picture. New colorway of the unreleased human made sneakers have been revealed. Yeah, I really like them, man. They kind of look like ACGs a little bit. They've kind of got a bit of an ACG feel about them. I quite like them though, and they kind of look like a mix between ACGs and Hoka running shoes. But they look pretty cool there for me. Whoops, I have to play that. Let's go back to the article. It's precisely because pottery is difficult to control that it fascinates me, he says. His current obsession is tea bowls. He's been studying the traditional tea ceremony under his wife's guidance. He shows me how he shapes the clay into a rough form, allowing it to dry with a few days until it hardens. Then he carves it into the bowl before a bisque firing into a kiln. Days later, it will be glazed and fired again. Amazing, man. Look at Nigo getting into pottery. But it makes sense though, because Nigo's from a generation of where people that used to actually screen print their t-shirts, you know, actually physically screen print their t-shirts, not send it off to a factory to get screen printed. You screen print it yourself in your own studio. You'd make the designs yourself. You pack it into, you know, pack it yourself. You sell it in the store. Everything was physical. So it's not surprising that he still likes that tactile touch. I'm not surprised that he's still out here doing stuff like pottery. That's pretty cool, man. Big up Nigo. Nigo fell in love with pottery about a decade ago and became so invested in his studies that he constructed a studio and a kiln in the complex in Meguro, Tokyo, the house that he archives and offices. He carves out regular intervals to pursue his passion, using his time in Japan when not working for Kenzo in Paris to study with ceramics, traditional potteries in Gifu, Sija, and Mai, and a place called Yamaguchi and Karatutsu. Or Kararut, was it Karatsu, and learn new regional techniques. He likes the lengthy process. He says, in fashion, once I've created the design and given the instructions, the sample comes out, it leaves my hand and goes to the production line, and identical items are mass produced. Exactly. See, that's what I know my Nigo. I remember reading interviews about him where he said like what he used to enjoy a lot about early days of streetwear, or the early days of him starting a Bathing Ape. Because I remember the genesis of a Bathing Ape was that when he opened the store Nowhere with Hiroshi Fujiwara and John Takahashi, the idea behind Nowhere was that they would all sell their own wares in there, right? And when he started the Bathing Ape, he would print 30 t-shirts, give 15 to some friends of his who were cool, and then sell 15 in the store. But they were all printed by hand, screen printed and shit. So some of them had different, you know, finishes and whatever it was maybe. But now in the future, those things are kind of, you know, lauded and heralded. But there was a tactile element behind it, right? In terms of sourcing the t-shirts, designing them in the studio, printing the screen, printing them there. It was all fucking good. But nowadays, you don't really probably need that. You can just send stuff via an email and you get sent a sample and basically it's basically done for the most part. So that's probably why he was drawn to something like pottery, because there's still a lot of hand-to-hand touching needed in order to kind of get to the final product. It continues. In fashion, once I've created a design and given the instructions and the sample comes out, it leaves my hands and goes to the production line and the identical items are mass produced. That has its own appeal, he concedes, but pottery is about shaping things differently with my hands. The clay differs by region. You never know how it will come out after the firing in the kiln, and no two pieces are ever the same. Yeah, true. That's a good point. Especially if you're doing pottery by hand, it's impossible to have two of the things be identical. There's going to be little differences and shit. Very, very makes much sense. They see him in the studio there wearing his signature double denim with human made sneakers. His studio looks fucking immaculate as well, by the way. The same could be said for Nigo's creative output. The 55-year-old designer, streetwear veteran, and record producer, whose real name is Tomoyaki Nagao, wears many hats. In 1993, he founded the Bathing Ape, later establishing Human Made. In 2021, he was appointed artistic director for Kenzo, owned by LVMH, making him the first Japanese designer at his helm since its founder, the late Kenzo Takada. But anyway, that was a perfect appointment. I think LVMH flopped with Pharrell at Louis Vuitton. I think that's been an unmitigating failure in my personal opinion. I think Pharrell's been, I won't say a failure, but it's been very underwhelming, Pharrell at Louis Vuitton. But it's no surprise too, because Pharrell's never been a designer. He's more so a stylish fashion guy who maybe creates decent capsule collections. But after Virgil, I think they probably should have gone down the proper fashion route or got somebody else within the streetwear scene who was more, you know, had more rep to kind of take that role. But it is what it is, right? But I think the appointment of Nigo at Kenzo was right on point. In 2022, he released his first album in 20 years, an all-star rap compilation featuring A$AP Rocky, Tyler, the Creator, Pusha T, and Pharrell Williams. Since 2025, he has also worked as creative director for the Japanese convenience store chain Family Mart, a high-low marriage, as if Galliano had taken the reins of Saturday's own brand Temu, or Sainsbury's Man too, exactly. That's what I've always liked about these Japanese designers. They have an element of it. From Hiroshi Fujiwara to Tetsu from Double Taps and stuff, to the guy from Neighborhood. They love to do like obviously high level collaborations, highbrow stuff, but they also like to do like low level stuff, like I don't know, some sort of like, you know, like a fucking water, like a container and shit, like knives, like Swiss Army knives, lighters, all those type of stuff. I fucking love the ability to be able to apply your design language to all of these little miscellaneous items across the line. Williams is now creative director of Louis Vuitton and met Nigo in 2003. He refers to him as my friend, collaborator, in many ways my mentor. He writes, his taste, his eye, and his attention to detail are on another level. He has a rare depth of knowledge across culture, music, fashion, and art and beyond. The way he draws from archives and references any era of discipline and makes them feel relevant today is something I've always admired. He doesn't just understand legacy, he studies it, preserves it, and adds to it. And beyond all of that, he leads with kindness. Yeah, love that. Great tribute there from Pharrell. And you see Nigo here. Some of his stuff there, tools nearby, arranged neatly with some glasses. You also see him holding one of the pots that he made. So good, man. Big up Nigo. Big up fucking Nigo. Looks great. I love the glasses too. I love the glasses and the hat and the double denim. His myriad of interests will be on display in a sprawling exhibition called... Oh, really? There's a Nigo exhibition. I'm there, bro. His myriad of interests will be on display in a sprawling exhibition of 700 objects that opens in London Design Museum on the 1st of May. Titled Nigo from Japan with Love, it will portray a creative through his expansive personal collection, from American toys to vintage fashion and rare early design drawings. 600 pieces from his archives, including 225 from his hand-drawn ceramics, will be on show. Oh, if there's a private view, I have to go. I have to see if he can maybe sign some of my magazines. I've got so many magazines of him on the cover, man, like Asayan and shit. If there's a private view, I might have to go see if I can get my magazine signed. Oh my God, I have to go. I have to go. There we go. Design Museum, Nigo from Love. So Nigo from Japan with Love. 1st of May to the 4th of October, 2026. Explore the vision and legacy of Japanese designer and creative director Nigo from the street style to music and beyond in the first UK exhibition showcasing his multifaceted creative work alongside vintage objects, traditional crafts from his personal collection. Oh yeah, I have to go. I have to go. I have to go. What to expect from the back streets of Harajuku, Tokyo to the global stage. This is the first ever museum retrospective exhibition outside of Japan that will chart the career and life of Japanese art creative director Nigo, one of the first creatives to bridge the worlds of streetwear and luxury fashion. Over a 30-year career, Nigo has helped define some of the most influential trends in contemporary fashion, successful crossing fashion, music, and architecture. Opening from May 1st, the landmark exhibition will feature 700 objects, with highlights including a recreation of Nigo's teenage bedroom. Wow. Rare designs, ceramics hand thrown by Nigo himself, and a life-size glass tea house made especially for his exhibition. His work draws on influences spanning vintage Americana, streetwear, hip-hop, traditional Japanese craft, and growing up in the 1980s in Tokyo. Working across street style, music, from the founding of his first fashion brand, Baby Nape, in the 90s, to his current artistic director of Kenzo, his impact remains wide-reaching and relevant as ever. The exhibition will give visitors a glimpse of Nigo's world for his personal collections of vintage clothing and objects. Yes, I'm there. I'm fucking there, bro. I am so fucking there. Nigo at the Design Museum. Are you crazy? Yeah, I have to be there. I have to be there. Tickets from $15.29 for adults. Yeah, I have to be there. I have to be there. I have to fucking be there. Can you actually book now already? For the 1st of May? Can you book now already? Is it actually already booked up? Let's see when. The car is empty, right? Can you book up already? Oh, is it sold out already? No way. Or maybe it's not available yet. Is it not available? Okay, no. Let's see. Guest 1 adult. Okay, it's available still. Cool. Oof. Yeah, I'm definitely going to this. 19 quid. Yeah, I'm definitely going to that. Jesus, good to know. Nigo's collections are central to his artistic process. To use a fishing analogy, I'm not the type who aims to catch only tuna. I cast a large net into the sea, and from the many fish I caught, I edit, thinking, this fish goes well with this dish, this fish can be used for that. Among his treasures are items miscellaneous as vintage wooden duck decoys. Things are my teachers, he says. I've learned from things. Yeah, similar to Virgil. Virgil the same thing on these archives. Learning from things, developing an idea of how to make things and having taste and shit, understanding things. Like, look at this vintage Bape varsity jacket. Like, fucking hell, that's beautiful. Fucking hell, that's beautiful. Yeah, I want to recreate. This is stuff I want to recreate. When I finally get my money, this is stuff I want to recreate image-wise. This is the kind of shit I want to post on my IG. So I want to recreate images like this. This stuff I grew up on. Nigo sitting on top of a fucking Rolls Royce, wearing head-to-toe Bape with a chunky Marc Jacobs watch on and some fucking crazy chain. That is so hard, so fucking hard. Louis Vuitton, Nigo duck decoy, A picture with him and Pharrell and the Clips and Jay-Z back in the day in 2005. The exhibition will question what it means to be a collector, says the curator Esme Hawes. We are a design museum. We collect many objects, and we have done many designers exhibitions, but we have not nearly really touched and creative directors before. Few as international admired as Nigo, who has 1.6 million followers on Instagram and occupies a superstar status in the home country. Nigo is not just a designing an object or selling a t-shirt, but selling an entire lifestyle surrounding the t-shirt. It says, yeah, I am as the wheel turns, says on the cover. Born in 1970, Nigo spent his childhood in Maebashi, Guanma Prefecture, where his archivist tendencies developed early on. He was looked after by his neighbor during the day while his nurse mother was working on the local hospital. He developed a strong fascination with Americana, which scarcely available in Japan at the time, forming a special attachment to the Donald Duck push puppet, which he bought when he went to New York, which he bought with New Year's money from his parents when he was 5 years old. He still treasures it. It was the first Disney and Americana character that I ever saw. It was so precious that I always displayed it beside my bed. I even brought it with me when I came to Tokyo to attend college. He became fascinated with the fashion when he was a teenager thanks to his Japanese pop band, the Checkers, and went on to study the Tokyo prestigious Bunka Fashion College. Here, he befriended John Takahashi, founder of Tokyo label Undercover, and the two quietly launched a store called Nowhere at the backstreets of Harajuku. After founding Bape, which was popularized in the West thanks to his protege Williams in 2010, Nigo set up a lifestyle brand, Human Made. He sold the Bape in April the following year in November 2025. Human Made listed on the Tokyo Stock Exchange with a valuation of 460 million, going public for the horizon from the start. Takamasa Akida, senior portfolio manager at GCI Asset Management, compares Human Made's growth potential to that of Uniqlo. Really? It must do really well in Japan, because you don't really see Human Made in Europe that much. I'm not going to lie. Maybe it's the sizing. It must do really well in Japan because you rarely see Human Made being worn in Europe or in London or even being sold. I'm not going to lie. So it must be really doing really well over there. Uniqlo's parent company, Fast Retailing, last year generated close to 22 billion in revenue. But skillfully leveraging collaborations, Human Made is reaching a broad customer base in terms of company valuation. Its price to earnings ratio is on par with Fast Retailing. Really? Okay. Maybe I'm not too plugged in when it comes to fucking Human Made then. Let's see, Human Made. Let's see what they got on the website right now. I want to double check this. What do they have listed on there? Maybe I'm not that plugged in, but you don't really see a lot of people wearing Human Made. I'm not gonna lie, day to day. I don't really see it. They make great stuff, don't get me wrong. I think they just launched like a youth label. If I'm not mistaken. We ship worldwide. Cool. Let's continue. They've definitely launched a youth label too. But let's see. Let's go on the shop. Let's see new arrivals. What they've got available. They've got cool tote bags, hats and shit. Let's see all items then. It can't just be those 3 items, right? There's got to be more available than just those 3 items. Yep. We have a wool blazer for 400. We have a heart zip sweater for 200. A zip up hoodie for 230. Some hats here for 90. The hats are really nice, by the way. Are these Ebbets and Field? Who makes these? These are really nice. I love the really short brim. The short brim is such a cool design there. I love that. And they're size medium and large. Vintage inspired baseball hat. High density cotton. Wash process, 3-dimensional felt patch in the front. Designed as a stylish accent. Yeah, look fucking brilliant there. Those dry overall hats are pretty fucking hard. And then they've also got a few other bits and bobs as well when it comes to the things in there. So big up Human Made. Maybe I'm not so plugged in, but they do some good shit, it feels like, yeah. They've also got the duck thing there. They've got some bucket hats. They've got some military pouch minis. Oh, these are really nice actually. These will be a really cool little festival bag, DJ bag type of shit. Yeah, so big up Human Made. Okay, maybe I'm not that plugged in. They always do great shit. It continues here. Got some other images from models backstage during Nigo's show at Kenzo. Some luggage he designed for a Louis Vuitton show and shit. At Kenzo, Nigo enjoys immersing himself with the archives. As a teenager in the early 1980s, he was intrigued by Kenzo's early work. Later amassing a collection of vintage pieces, Nigo's practice of sampling references from Kenzo's archive and his own collection, as well as from the cross-disciplinary career, adheres to the tagline he has assigned to Human Made, the future's in the past. The designer, Sir Paul Smith, another inventor collector, has become a friend over the decades. I've been traveling to Japan since the early 80s, and in that time, Nigo's success has blossomed, along with the amazing output of the interesting work. He certainly has a magic touch to whatever he turns to. His work is stylish and always hits us straight away in whatever market. It's very clever. Yeah, to be fair, Paul Smith back in the day, I remember Paul Smith was a retail place everyone wanted to work at. I applied there a couple of times actually, never got the job, but Paul Smith was one of the cooler fashion stores, I guess. If you were like a streetwear kid, but you didn't want to work, but you couldn't find a job in like a sneaker store, or you couldn't find a job in a streetwear store, the next best thing was to work at Paul Smith. Like Paul Smith, people love fucking Paul Smith. And the other one was what's the other thing? What's the other one? So Ted Baker. Weirdly enough, I think Ted Baker and Paul Smith were the two stores people would work in that was, I wouldn't say streetwear adjacent, but you know, they made decent things. So if you had a budget for uniform or you got a discount, you could buy some stuff that could easily blend in with stuff you want for streetwear. In April, Nigo will spend 10 days in London before the Design Museum show opens, meticulously installing each object on site. The exhibition will be uniquely revealing. Sorry, it features items he made in preschool. The totem pole that I made from paper clay that won the gold prize in kindergarten. Wow, I was so happy and kept it. Fuck, he's got all that shit as well. Jesus Christ, Nigo's a proper archivist, isn't it? He's got the stuff that he made when he was in fucking kindergarten. That's incredible. What does he want others to take away from the collections? I want younger people to experience the joy I gained from the things I collect and since childhood. When I find something I like, I want to share that elation. That extends to the tea ceremonies, which he hosts in the tea room he has built in the Kyoto home. The tea ceremony is akin to fashion. The host contemplates which tea utensils, water jug, tea cuddy, and tea scoop and hanging scroll to use for the ceremony. Considering seasoning pairings, it resembles coordinating trousers, jackets, and shoes. There's tea bowls that can only be used during the new year for the horse year. Oh, I love that. A life-size glass tea house designed specifically for a design museum show by Nigo in collaboration with his support at Not a Hotel will be another highlight of the retrospective. Yeah, there's some pots he made. I can't wait, man. Maybe it's going to be some of this going to be available to buy as well. For someone who's achieved so much, Nigo's humility is striking. Even now, it's a mystery to me why I'm working for Kenzo, he says at some point. Coming from Bape, which was not even considered a fashion label at the time, to Kenzo is like a sumo wrestler entering the boxing ring. There are such different fields. Wow, it's a great analogy. He insists he still has more to learn. You can only be off the wall once you master the fundamentals of your discipline. Agreed. The only way you can be off the wall and be crazy and do crazy fucking spontaneous things in the moment is if you master the basics. I apply that to DJing. The only way you can start doing crazy DJ tricks is if you know the basics. Beat matching, blending, all that shit, record dick. You know what I mean? Know the basics and then you can start doing the crazy shit like, you know, fucking mixing with your fucking head and shit. As for the exhibition, he's most anxious about displaying designs from the earliest collections of Bape, which is now, he says, the greatest mistake. I was young then, perhaps acting in momentum. Seeing those collections now is embarrassing. Really? I want to erase them. But to avoid avoiding mistakes, I keep them to learn more about the battle lost. Okay, maybe because how he lost the brand, but I wouldn't say the designs were fucking legendary, man. I've still got some of the stuff now. Some of the stuff I still kind of can't wait until I get my money up and I'm going to rebuy it. So much shit that I fucking sold over the years. And when it comes to Bape, especially like the snowball jacket, shark hoodie, camo hoodie, like green camo hoodie, green shark hoodie, gray shark hoodie, like the snowball jackets in all the colors, some of the fucking hats and shit, the t-shirts, the fucking the flannels, patchwork flannels. Like I need some of that shit back that I sold over the years. The varsity jackets especially. Oh yo. So much shit I had over the years that I sold. M65s. So yeah, I can't wait to get some of that shit back. But yeah, I'm definitely going to the exhibition. Big up fucking Nigo. Great little article here from the Financial Times. In the studio with Nigo. And the exhibition, Nigo from Japan with Love, is also going to be happening in the Design Museum in London from the 1st of May to the 4th of October. From the 1st of May to the 4th of October. I cannot wait. I freaking cannot wait. And talking about exhibitions actually, we actually have this to showcase, isn't it? Courtesy of the Virgil Abloh Archives. I think they finally announced the dates for the New York place, isn't it? London, not just yet, but New York has definitely been announced. I think I saw a flyer for it recently. Yeah, there you go. So New York has been announced. The New York World's Fair is happening with the Virgil Abloh Archive. It's taking place at Wake, actually, weirdly enough. It's not taking place at fucking Tremaine Emory spot, Denim Tears. I wonder why. Why is Tremaine Emory not doing it? Huh. Let's check out Denim Tears. I would have expected they would have done the thing at Denim Tears at the Denim Tears store because of Virgil's relationship with fucking Tremaine Emery. I know he also know Angela back, but I wonder why they didn't do it there. I wonder why. Let me double check this. I wonder why they didn't do this in the fucking in the Denim Tears store. Let me check. Let me see Tremaine Emery's Instagram. Let's see what he's saying. I'm surprised they didn't do it at their store. I thought that would have been a good way to do it, or maybe he's just busy or something. I wonder why, because they were super close. Let's see here. Let's see. Boom. Okay. He's got some things he's talking about here, but nothing's about Virgil, right? Fair play. Okay, he's posted. Okay, he posted a flyer though, so I guess there's no problem. He did post a flyer. He did post a flyer, so I guess there is no issues. But I would have expected that they would have done it in there instead of, to be honest. I don't know why. Anyway, let's continue here. It says here, courtesy of Awake, the Virgil Abloh Archive World's Fair at Awake NY in celebration of the Air Jordan 1 High OG, Alaska in collaboration, the portfolio office hours and zine workshop and free game panel discussion this Saturday, March 21st. So this Saturday, if you're in New York, go check out the Virgil Abloh Archive at the Awake store on 62 Orchard Street. 62 Orchard Street, March 21st, 2026, 1 p.m. to 7 p.m. This day is rooted in past conversations between Virgil and Angelo, reflecting on the shared commitment to accessibility and transparency in the streetwear culture. Sign up for the link in bio. RSVP required for entry. Valid ID required at the door. Attendance will be noted upon entry. No sneakers will be sold at this event. Please stay tuned for raffle. Yeah, no sneakers will be sold. Of course, they have to make that clear. But yeah, that'll be fucking good. So if you're around, make sure you go check that out. That was the Benji B one, right? That was I think the one from London, I think, right? Can I click that? And some other things as well that you see happening. So yeah, Virgil Abloh Archive collection happening in New York. So go check that out if you are that way inclined. Go check that out if you are that way inclined. You get me, you see me, you get me, you see me, you get me, you fucking see me. Okie dokie, people. I think I've been, is that 2 hours? No, it's not actually 2 hours. Let's actually continue. I thought it was about, I thought I did 2 hours there. And it actually isn't 2 hours. I thought I did a little cheeky 2 hour vibe, but it isn't actually 2 hours. Big up everybody tuning in, by the way. If you're watching the show live, make sure you like the stream as well. That'd be greatly appreciated. Like the stream. If you're here live and you're enjoying what you see what you enjoy. Before we leave, actually, let me do a couple more things here. Let me actually talk about the Nigel Sylvester Air Jordan 4 brick after brick. Brilliant colorway. I think it's the fire red, right? Jordan, original fire red Jordan colorway. He's kind of flipped on his heel to do his own thing. The colorway is gorgeous, but I think the real standout here is the shape. The SB shape of the Jordan 4s. I keep talking about it. I know I keep talking about it, but the Jordan 4 is one of my favorite Nike models of all time. One of my other favorite models is the Air Force One and the Air Max 90. Those are my favorite models of all fucking time, right? But the Jordan 4 has always been kind of maligned because of the shape of the retro. It's not really akin to like the original that came out in the 80s, designed by Tinker Hatfield. That had a little bit more of a boxier, dare I say, triangular look about it, right? But since there's a few years ago, Jordan brand decided really smartly to include the Jordan 4 as an SB. And because they included it as an SB, when Nike SB got a hold of the Jordan 4, they basically gutted it and reconstructed it. So it basically fit within skateboarding. So that meant they had to kind of, redo the upper. And redoing the upper made it closer in design to the actual OG shape. Weirdly enough. Because I think they did little things like making the height of the toe box a bit higher, so your toes were a bit freer to move around and shit. They got rid of some of the padding on the inside. So basically whatever they've done to it, in terms of making it better for skateboarding, has also lent itself to look better aesthetically and make it look more akin to Tinker Hatfield's original design that came out, I think around 1987 or something like that. So it's amazing. The shape, I think, is banging. So I think the shape alone, regardless of what colorway you put on it, I think the shape is what gives it that look. It actually makes it look like, oh shit. Because if you were to blink or to look at this squinting, you think this might be a fucking vintage shoe that somebody plucked from their archive from fucking the 80s or something. But it's not. It's actually a retro. So that's what they did really good. So big up Nigel Sylvester for choosing this model because, it looks fucking great. I'm sure it fucking feels great when you're fucking cycling on the BMX and shit. But just aesthetically, it looks fucking banging. The leather on it is gorgeous, man. Look at the leather. I zoomed in here. The leather on this is so good. Very, very premium. Not sure if it's tumbled leather or just a really premium brand of leather. But it's really fucking good, the leather on here. And I love the addition of the swooshy on the front, which is something they usually did on Nike Air Maxes. The little swooshy on the front of the toe box is fucking brilliant. And I also like the off-white mesh color they've gone for on the netting. That gives it a kind of a vintage feel. And they've also gone for that a little bit down the midsole as well to give it a bit of a vintage feel. And on the back heel, really interesting. The heel tab, which is usually on most Jordans like plastic, they've made that a softer, kind of a hairier suede material, which is also very interesting. And they've got the Nike bike logo there, the Bike Air, which is fucking brilliant. And look at the heel tab too. Bike Air on the back of the heel tab. So fucking brilliant. The really funny thing about this though, if you live in the hood and you wore, like, if back in the day, not now because I think everybody's aware of sneaker culture, but back in the day, I remember because I was a sneakerhead living in ends, I remember sometimes going to church or going to school with, you know, sneakerhead shoes, right? Something that I might have queued up and bought at fucking foot patrol. I remember sometimes going to fucking school and people thinking I had fakes on because they'd never seen them. They'd never seen those shoes because I was, you know, at that time, sneaker culture wasn't as popular as it is now, wasn't as well known as it is now. So I was, you know, literally a part of a really small little subculture that mostly exists on forums. So we were buying all these things, but the wider world wasn't really aware of what, you know, limited edition shoes were. So you would go to school with these like crazy fucking Air Maxes and people would be like, what the fuck are they? They're fake, obviously. Like I remember the one particular people thought were fake I had the Urahara Air Maxes, right? I think it's like a Japanese football team or something. Is it Urahara Air Max 1 or something? I forgot what the name of it is called. How you pronounce it? That's it. Urawa Air Max 1. Yeah, I remember these ones. I had these back in the days, right? I remember wearing these in school or in church actually. People thinking they were fake. Yeah, where the fuck do you get these like black and red Air Maxes? They're fake. They're fake. They're not fake. You just don't know about them because these are limited edition. I had to pay a bit of money for them on eBay, and they came out particularly. You know what I mean? They didn't no idea, no fucking, especially stuff like Kid Robot Air Maxes and stuff, Amsterdams, which I had a couple of pairs of these. Fuck, I've had quite a few of these in this actually. Safaris, what you call it? Yeah, shit, god damn it. But yeah, back in the day, that was a good time. But going back to the fucking Bike Airs, they look fucking fantastic. He killed it. Big up Sylvester. He really killed it with these. The quality on the shoe looks fucking incredible. And he actually spoke about it as well himself on his Instagram. He spoke about them as well on his Instagram. Let's listen to him. Big up Sylvester.
Beautiful day to talk sneakers. So the GOAT was recently rocking these and my phone's been going crazy. This is my next release. The AJ4 Brick After Brick.
To be fair, Nigel Sylvester is such a great BMX rider. He's such a great person. He seems like a really positive person as well. I love how engaged he is in the sneaker community. I love how he kind of promotes his own shoe. I love how he kind of takes part in the sneaker of the year debate. And he's really popping and happy when he wins and stuff and all that malarkey. I love it. But I still think he deserves his own signature shoe. I think he's done enough for fucking Nike or Jordan brand. He deserves his own signature shoe. He should have his own Bike Air division, you know, his own Bike Air thing, and actually have, you know, the Bike Air ones, whatever, or the Nigel Sylvester, whatever. He should have his own signature shoe that isn't just a retro. He deserves better than that. I think the colorway is still fantastic. The shape is obviously great. I get it. But I would love for him to have the chance to create his own signature shoe from the ground up. It'd be so great to see what he could actually design.
And yes, these are dropping soon. These fours are the next chapter in the Bike Air Brick journey. The first being the Brick by Brick fours, which told the story of building towards a goal carefully and gradually until finally achieving success. And this next chapter, the Brick After Brick, dives into the discipline and the consistency it takes to sustain success while continuing to build.
Love the story, man. Love it. I'm not really a big on the storytelling thing when it comes to sneakers, but this is quite good. I like this.
It's similar to that universal sentiment. Achieving success is one thing. The real challenge is sustaining it. Listen,
yeah,
it's
big up.
So jumping into colorway and details, we did the entire upper and sail, 100% full grain leather, top tier shit only. Mini swoosh on the toe box. We use all 4 colors on the midsole. Muslin, brick, anthracite, and sail. We even did brick inside the air bubble.
Nice.
Sheesh. Muslin and 3M for the cages. And then
it's frame on the I like that, by the way. The frame on the cage is obviously for the bicycle actions of it. That's fucking cool. Frame on the cages too is fucking brilliant. Lights up as well where you're so it can keep you safe while you're riding your bike on the streets.
hang tag. Oh man.
Yeah.
We use that brick application in muslin, front and back, with the bike air logo in that brick color. Same thing on the heel tab.
Oh, it's not. Oh, I thought it was hairy suede. It's not hairy suede. It's that whatever. What's he calling it? What's he calling the fabric? Muslin. What's muslin fabric? What's that? Muslin fabric. What is that? Muslin is lightweight, breathable, loose woven cotton foam. Or is it maybe the thing that you have in your house back in the day? People used to do where they used to make the fucking paint look like it was spiky. Either way, okay. So it's not. I thought it was hairy suede. It's not actually hairy suede. Okay.
Fire. Inside the tongue, Jordan Bike & Co. And then on the inner heel tab, Bike logo.
Yeah, love it.
Man.
What a detail. Look at the details.
Crazy.
He went crazy. He went
And then the outsole, again, features all. So jumping into, as always, the storytelling continues through the packaging. Bike Air logo debossed on an all-white brick box.
Ooh.
Wow.
The all-white brick box is fucking hard. I'm not gonna lie. The all-white brick box is fucking hard. I'm not gonna lie.
Detailing. The box is textured like a proper clay brick.
Wow.
And of course, the fours come packaged like traditional clay bricks will be packaged. Sheesh.
He went crazy.
So fire.
So much detail. Well done to him, man. A lot of attention to detail there. And look at Michael Jordan actually wearing a pair. Michael Jordan actually wearing a pair himself. Of course, Michael Jordan looks the best in them, innit? Of course, Michael Jordan looks the best in fucking Jordans, innit? Of course, he looks the greatest in Jordans. Fucking hell. Love it. And there's a picture of him handing him a pair, right? So cool. Life lately, to be totally honest, been quite crazy. Was it Jordan signing a pair of his shoes? Whee! Let's get it. So cool. Big up Nigel Sylvester, man. Big up fucking Nigel Sylvester. Discipline, routine, consistency.
I was like, man, let me get this going, man. Footwork. Hey, come on now.
Yeah, big up Nigel Sylvester. Big up Blood Cut Nigel Sylvester. Big up Blood Cut Nigel Sylvester. You love to see it. 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 Make it more on there. Shall I continue? Big up Nigel Sylvester. Achieving it takes ambition. Keeping it takes discipline. Big up Blood Clot Nigel Sylvester. Love to see this. Love to see this. Brilliant, brilliant, brilliant stuff from him. Brilliant, brilliant, brilliant stuff from Nigel Sylvester. Continuing on. Let's talk a little bit about Aime Leon Dore. Aime Leon Dore has announced their Technics collaboration. Collaboration with Technics has been announced courtesy of Aime Leon Dore. They have debuted it with a DJ battle video, which is disappointing. I would have preferred it to have regular DJs playing, but I guess it makes sense to have like turntablist. But still, really crazy collaboration. Technics don't really collaborate with a lot of clothing brands. The fact that Aime Leon Dore have got this collaboration with Technics is fucking nuts. And the fact that they were able to change the color of the fucking 1210s is fucking crazy. Different color, different arm, like even the material on the arm is fucking different as well. The needles, it's fucking brilliant, man. So fucking cool. They're gonna be it's gonna be a lot of money though. These decks, they won't be cheap, but it's really cool collaboration. So this is courtesy of Aime Leon Dore Technics collaboration. Let's fucking go. Wow, wow, needles as well. Look at it in gold, green and gold. So cool, man. Sick. The Technics hat as well. I need that hat. I need that hat. Whee! So cool, man. So cool. I need that hat, man. I need that hat. That hat and that t-shirt is fucking so cool. That fucking hat that one of the guys wearing is so fucking cool. You see it here, actually. There's a picture of the hat. The hat looks really fucking good. The hat looks really fucking good, bro. Yeah, I need that hat right there. I need that hat. I need that hat. That hat must be copped. Look at that. Little Technics hat as well. Fuck, cool. I wonder if they got headphones as well. Would they have headphones? Or it's just the decks? Maybe it might be the decks and the t-shirt. But yeah, so the hat has Technics written in gold. I mean, no, grey text, and then you got Aime Leon Dore flipped underneath it in gold text in the classic font. But the decks look so good in it, the green with the gold. It looks so fucking cool. The decks look so fucking cool. Big up Aime Leon Dore. Big up Blood Clot Aime Leon Dore. Big up Blood Clot Aime Leon Dore. You love to see it. You love to see it. You love to freaking see it. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, that has been the Agatino's Dinger Show, episode number 1024. Thank you for tuning in. Been a pleasure to have your company. The first time tuning in, you know what to do. Smash like, hit subscribe. Smash the like, hit subscribe. It's your first time tuning in. If it's your second time tuning in, you know what to do. Smash like, hit subscribe anyway. That'd be greatly appreciated. Please do. That'd be greatly appreciated. Please freaking do. For my song of the day, I don't actually have anything picked just yet. But for my song of the day, I might actually pick. You know what I might pick? Let's actually go for song of the day today will be courtesy of Tiga. Yeah, let's do Tiga. My song of the day will be Tiga. The song of the day will be Pleasures from the Bass. Tiga, Pleasures from the Bass will be my song of the day. If you know, you know about Tiga. Big up Blood Clot Tiga. Legend, 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 legend. That will be my song of the day. Let me see if I can get it up on here so you can see what I'm talking about. There it is right there, right? Tiga, Pleasures of the Bass will be my song of the day. If you care about that sort of stuff, I'll play it on the Twitch and on the TikTok, on the Kick and everywhere else. If you're on YouTube, it'll fade to black, and I'll see you guys in a minute, in about, I don't know, 15 minutes for random show. For everybody else, take care. I appreciate you guys. Thank you for tuning in. Blessings and love. Blessings and love. Peace.